Doves, Caught by the River on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington, doing the button stuff. Actually becoming a little bit of a producer.
Karl,
he's put a bit of work in, hasn't he? He's come up with a few games, and we made him... He's getting a bit stressed when we shout at him because the mics don't work or it's hanging off. It was too hot in here. He couldn't get the thing working last week. I mean, I really would throw this studio away and get a real one.
Yeah. Well, I'd get one of those ones you can buy for like tenner from Argos.
Argos, yeah, like Bon Tempe. My first studio.
My first
with a little picture of Karl on it. Yeah,
exactly. That'd be great product placement.
What have you got this week for us, Karl? Because again, we've put very little. I said I would put. I'm not hungover, but I've put nothing into it.
Rick, have you done any work for this week's show?
No.
None whatsoever? No.
Okay, Karl, what have you got? What have you got? Quick. Keep them. It's 5 past. They're turning over already. They're finding other things. There's melon stew. There's everything. Well, go on.
We've got after the success of last week, Rockbusters.
Okay.
We're doing that again.
Sorry, were you on the same show as us?
I thought it went all right last week.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Right, so we'll be doing that. Got some nice prizes. Which?
What prize? What other films have you got? Have you got?
Don't tell him yet.
No, I'll tell you what. If it's Children of the Corn 2, then can I enter this competition?
There you go.
No.
What is that?
He's got some different prizes. Maybe I should just tease the audience with those a bit later, Rick, because there's some exciting stuff there.
It's going to be amazing. Yeah.
Right, so
I don't want to give too much away, Rick, but one of them is a copy of The Office on DVD.
Is anything like maybe Burt Reynolds' straight-to-video film? Are there any of those in there?
Sadly, nothing quite as classy.
Fist.
Yeah.
Right. So we've got that lot to give away.
Yeah.
We've got
Go on.
educating Ricky. Where teachers
because you taught me that people used to eat tomatoes off lead plates in the land of Narnia last week, which was good. Yeah.
No,
it's only tomatoes they ate off the lead plates, by the way. Why didn't they think other fruits and vegetables were poisonous?
No, it wasn't. It was because tomatoes had acid in them. That was the problem. You see, you don't listen, right?
Well, lots of fruits have acid in them.
Yeah, but they didn't eat them back then. they didn't have bloody kiwi fruit and stuff.
Don't say bloody. You're a producer. You'll start saying shit and cock and stuff. You start saying bloody.
Tits.
Play the...
Hang on, right, and...
Go on,
keep him hooked, right?
Yeah.
We've still got a song with a story in it.
Yeah. You don't want to play Babushka, do you? He doesn't like the idea of Babushka. I told him that was a story.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like it. A devil went down to Georgia. Someone sent in. You know, he's looking for a soul to steal. Yeah. Doesn't like it. Why don't you like that?
Do you know the song?
Not particularly.
Right, it's a song about a lad who goes into a pub on a normal night. And
it's in sort of the deep south of America, New Orleans, something like that. It's, you know, it's not the old Kent Road.
Right, okay.
Go on.
Goes into a pub, there's a devil in there, who's getting a bit cocky, he's had a bit to drink, and he's saying, do you want to sort of gamble your soul away with me, and we'll see who's best at playing the violin.
Yeah.
And I think the lad wins in the end, but it's not real enough. Whereas the one...
Oh. What? Not like the Shadow that got fed up and started pushing kids off bikes?
Rick, I think you're referring to stuff that no one made sense of last week.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think we should refer to last week.
Let's play Mock Turtles, Can You Dig It? And then we'll come back and we'll talk about that.
I've come to the conclusion, Rick, we should never refer to stuff Karl said in the past, because it would just take too long to explain.
Okay, alright, that's fair enough. Mock Turtles. Can you dig it?
Indeed.
What I've done there is I've taken the title and I've done it like I'm talking to someone.
Sure.
XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant.
Hello there.
And Karl Pilkington.
So, Karl, how excited are you about Ricky's celebrity boxing match? Are you going to be there? Are you going to come along? Are you aware of this? You're aware of all this, aren't you?
Yeah, I've heard about it.
We can't name the opponent, because that should be a surprise. But anyway, it's for charities. It's a charity boxing match.
Yeah.
And
I always wanted to beat someone up for charity.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a good cause.
But the thing about Ricky is, I don't know if you're aware of this, Karl, but Ricky's one of these men who, you know, he doesn't mind sort of, you know, making a fool of himself on the telly and being funny and stuff, but if people said to him, right, you can either be Britain's funniest man, universally agreed that you're the funniest man in Britain, or you could, like, beat some gangsters up in a pub, he would go that, oh, please, just let me beat people up in a pub, and maybe like an old man's being hassled, like, by some street youths, and you come in and, like, smash some bottles over their heads and sort of sort it out.
Against the odds, though?
Against the odds, yeah, there's about 5 of them against you.
Sure.
So, because he's got this kind of...
Get to the point, come on.
Well, the point is, he quite likes the idea of being sort of macho, and you know what I mean, and kind of a tough guy, you know, because he grew up in a rough...
like boxing.
Yeah, but you'd love the idea of people going, don't mess with Ricky Gervais. If someone said, don't mess with Ricky Gervais, that would be exciting, wouldn't it? Never mess with Ricky Gervais, he will destroy you. That's what you'd love.
Go on.
Because you used to do karate, didn't you? You were a karate.
Oh, I used to go, yeah.
Didn't you get all the way up to white belt?
No, I was one away from black, and then I stopped because I started working nights.
Oh yeah, one step away from black.
Oh, was it?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, I was chatting to him last night in the pub because obviously the boxing match is in about 5 weeks' time, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
And anyway. He was sat there, Karl. I don't know if you know this about Ricky, but he's taken to smoking cigars.
No, I do.
Are you aware of this?
I had the occasional one.
He got a cigar. He got like a Monte Cristo out of his pocket. It was ludicrous. He looked like George Papard for the A-Team. It was pathetic. And he was drinking Guinness. And I was saying to him, but aren't you doing a boxing match soon? And
I haven't started training yet. I'm starting training next week.
You're not concerned that it's gonna have an impact?
Well, I mean,
what I'm saying is, like the boxers, they normally put in some effort and stuff.
Like years of training.
Yeah, I mean,
getting up at 5:30.
Yeah,
yeah.
Because you reminded me of Frank Bruno when he was preparing for Panto. Not when he was.
I don't think he even smoked then, did he? And drank. No.
So I don't. What's your thinking, Rick? Because you know you're going to get your face pummeled. You know that. I mean, they're going to destroy you. You haven't got a chance.
That's why I left it this long. So I definitely lost my looks.
But you haven't got a chance.
You're having a laugh.
Have you ever taken a punch to the face?
Sorry, listen.
But I'm genuinely concerned.
Is this sort of psychological training? Because
no, it's not psychological training. It's a warning. I've spoken to your friends and your loved ones, and they all agree. We've got a petition going. We're sending it to the BBC. Please do not let this man box. Anyone else, please. But they're going to beat you. Seriously, have you ever had a punch, like a boxing glove, in the face?
No.
I think you should let us punch you next week live on the show.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
No, because because you've got to get used to it. Because I think you're going to either cry, just start crying uncontrollably, or just run away. You'll just run away. You'll just climb out the ring and run off.
Yeah, this is the same tactic Ali used against Foreman in Rumble in the Jungle.
But I just...
Oh, dear.
Because I think a boxing glove... Because I know you're wearing, aren't you wearing, huge kind of foam boxing gloves?
We're not, no, we're not. We're using, not normal, amateur ones.
Are you wearing boxing gloves like those ones they used to have on Gladiators? When everyone bites the dust. Those big foam gloves. You just slap each other in the
braces.
Yeah, exactly.
And a big sumo suit.
Exactly.
So I should be okay.
Do you get to you get some kind of head protection? Do you?
Yeah. It's amateur. It's amateur. So it's
amateur. You say?
No, I mean
so it's not. There's no title.
No. I mean, I think the amateur is head guards, vest, and 16-ounce gloves or something, as opposed to professional, which is no vest, bare-chested. No,
right.
Maybe I can ask to fight bare-chested, because I'd quite like to show off my body, if I could.
I think wrestling is really better for you. But I don't mean like those kind of like The Rock and people like that. I'm talking about Big Daddy, giant head kind of.
That'd be good.
Where you can just throw yourself on someone.
Where they can sort of like be nearly dying, but then they can do a stomach butt.
Yeah, exactly.
Stomach to stomach. That's a good move, isn't it? In British wrestling, I always like that one.
I think wrestling.
Like two elephant seals fighting over a female.
Is it true that you've spent more time deciding what tune you're going to enter the ring to?
I want to come out to California by Tupac and Dr. Dre. I think that'd be really good.
I think that's embarrassing.
And I'm going to come out with loads of little midgets to make me look really big.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know what the BBC think of that, but it might be a...
I don't know. Maybe we should take some suggestions as to songs that would be perhaps more appropriate.
Okay.
I get knocked down, but I get up again.
A fatty bum bum.
Yeah.
Play a record, Karl.
It is going to be...
He's dissed me.
It's going to be
He's dissed me.
Next week, you take a punch to the jaw next week on air.
During breaks, long distance on XFM 104.9. On the way in, right, you know those little cars? They look like a little bubble car. They're modern ones. They look like half a car.
Is that like a smart car? Is that what
they look like. They just look like a toy car, and you can park them sideways.
Is there only room for two people?
Yeah. It's just like the half of the front of a Volkswagen just cut in half, right? And I saw one going on Oxford Street, and it's a police car, a real police car, right?
Really?
Yeah. And I mean, I thought, well, what happens if they had to chase someone? They couldn't, but I don't think that's the point, because it was written on the side. It said something like cleaner, something more efficient. So I think they're making the point that we're cruising around in this car like we're on the beat, and it's using less energy and stuff.
Yeah.
But the first thing I thought of, right, was that those two policemen, they must have been going, oh, Sarge, don't let us have that one. Can't we have the Granada?
Yeah.
I mean...
It's so embarrassing.
I know, about, police, they're doing,
But you've got to respect them.
Yeah, of course,
street toughs have got to respect
exactly.
them.
I just don't know if you have to...
the only thing more embarrassing...
What if you're really tall and you have to climb out of one and you're a copper? Are there any policemen out there who have been... asked to drive one of these cars? If you're listening, do you think police listen to this?
The only thing that would be more embarrassing is if you had to patrol on one of those bikes the goodies used to ride. That's the only thing I think that would be more pathetic.
A pogo stick?
Yeah, it's so embarrassing. Or on roller skates.
Yeah.
But not like roller blades. Roller skates, those really old roller skates.
Have you seen
that you tie on your socks?
Yeah, have you seen those little bikes that look like clown bikes that the couriers use now? They're about a foot high. They're little
I saw one the other day on it. My head turned, yeah. They're really bizarre.
Just think
they're the ones that they fold up.
Yeah, but think of policemen chasing you on that.
Well, I always remember that even in America when I started seeing policemen riding bikes. It didn't seem to me, it seemed...
Oh, they're quite cool. They're the ones that go through Central Park on the mountain bikes.
Yeah,
but that's really cool, isn't it? They,
it looks like they should be delivering
whiz along at about 30 miles an hour and they can just deliver newspapers.
Do you know what I mean? Because like on motorbikes, on a Harley Davidson or whatever, I'm not messing with chips. Now that's cool, coppers.
Yeah.
But people in a smart car or, it is a bit embarrassing.
But I suppose it is that or it's better than walking. You see,
next month either in those. If you really want to be kind of worried about the environment, though, you know those little taxis you see that people pedal. They pedal around Soho.
Yeah, and when it's a riot squad, there's 4 in the back.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
But that's the thing, right? If they need to arrest someone,
yeah, here we go. Go on.
No, well, what do they do? Because they do only sit 2, so do they have to flag a cab down or something for the criminal?
We'll give you the money. Get a receipt.
You definitely will go there. Yeah. You definitely will, because we've been caught this way before.
Exactly.
The last bloke, he just ran off. No, I won't run off. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, Mr. Policeman, I'll take your car. Then okay, go on then. You definitely bring it back though. I will. Well, isn't there something in America where when they arrest someone in America, they don't take them back to the station and fill out all the forms. They just take them back to the station and then they go and fill the forms out in a cafe or something, so they're still looking out. Yeah, Karl told me that.
They're what? So they're still on patrol, is it?
Yeah, so they said they're doing all their paperwork, but they're in a cafe window and they're looking out.
Do you know like how they say in this country so much police time's wasted by having to go back to the office and filling out loads of forms?
That sounds like some policeman going, yeah, I could get a lot more work done if I was in a Starbucks.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of criminals in the pub, and if I would, and I get to keep the receipts.
Yeah, I mean, what's safest is if I didn't wear my uniform and probably got drunk.
Yeah.
With some mates.
Or a lot happens in, looking out my bedroom window. So if I was just like snoozing, snoozing, and when I heard a noise, I just pop, look out, oi, come here.
Yeah, apparently there's a lot of crime in Marbella over the next 2 weeks. You want to pay me
if there's a policeman listening who has to drive one of those cars, were you annoyed when your sergeant
It is the most embarrassing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No, I think the pogo stick.
Pogo stick one.
Or the pogo bike. The triple tandem. That's great. Tandem. We should get that.
We should get one
when we do our road show. Karl does all the pedalling. Yeah. I'm in the basket in the front.
Hello, Western Superman!
Play a record, Karl. What have you got?
What do you want? Mott the Hoople?
Oh, Mott the Hoople, yeah. Dug it out of the library.
Yeah.
It had one. It had greatest hits, which was enough, wasn't it?
What have you got for us, Rick?
Roll Away the Stone, I think. Coldplay, The Scientist.
Have you seen the video for that?
No, but...
Absolutely magnificent.
Is it?
It's brilliant.
I was the one who was walking backwards in the woods. Oh, yes, I have, yeah.
Absolutely extraordinary.
I like all their videos. I think they're great.
Yeah.
I still haven't worked out how they do that one with whether it's a filter, they just turn up the light, because it gets light through the duration of the video.
Along, yeah. Impressive, yeah.
And it's slow as well, so he must have...
I'd like him to win an award.
I'd like him to win awards. I like Coldplay.
Yeah, no, good luck. Rick, can I just... Sorry, I don't mean to abuse our position again, but... Bruce Springsteen's performing in London tomorrow night, and you remember I made an appeal to try and get a free ticket. Yeah. Well, I don't even mind paying. I tried to pay, but...
That's good of you. No,
I'm a generous kind of guy.
And I thought you were me. No, go on, what are you going to say?
But
you were going to pay for the ticket. Face value? I mean, you don't want to be ripped off, do you?
No, don't be crazy, ideally half price.
Yeah.
And I've been chasing kind of my tail, really. I'm not going at the moment. I'm not going, and I'm desperate to see him, man. I mean, he's going to do a great concert. It's his only one in London. I can't believe that being on the radio, being on XFM, the listenership's going up apparently. I can't believe I can't get a ticket. I've asked Karl. He's done nothing.
Hang on a minute.
No, Karl had a very good point. Karl, say what you said when he was whinging in the break.
First of all, whilst you're moaning, you also asked in the week for a Badly Drawn Boy album.
Yeah.
You got in today.
Yeah.
There's one there for you.
Well, but it's yin and yang.
And it's like, but I do,
Karl, what's Steve ever done for you? That's what you got to ask yourself. What has Steve ever done for you?
Well, he took me to the BAFTAs. Yeah, but only because no one else would probably want to go with you.
I can't believe that.
What is
I
this?
do not believe that. Oh, Steve, I'm going to stitch you up now, Carl. And it's in a nice way, and don't worry, it won't be too bad. He won't take it too bad. Carl sent me a little text message today.
Right.
No,
Oh, what is this?
Right, okay. Okay.
You know, I'm in a very frail mood at the moment.
No,
I'm
you're
not
like
going to
this
see
one.
Bruce.
This is funny, because me and him have been, like, sending trivia back and forth to each other. Which is another point, right? I sent him... Oh, well, I'll get to that in a minute. I thought he'd really be amazed with,
Well, while you're fiddling, if you can make my dream come true, to go and see Bruce Springsteen tomorrow, then give us a call on the usual number.
Well, like I said, Steve.
What?
Right? It wouldn't be right. You just said when the song was on, can't believe it, right? We work at XFM and I can't get tickets for Springsteen, right?
Yeah.
We work in radio, we should get tickets. Right now, think
Which
of
I'm
the
willing
amount
to pay for.
Yeah, but think of the but if he's sold out, he's sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
but that's just something they say.
Right, that's just what they say, is it? Right, so everybody on local radio stations say, do you know, I like that Bruce Springsteen, I want a free ticket, right? So another say...
I tried to phone, I phoned for an hour and a half, I couldn't get through.
Not long enough.
I've put the hours in.
Not long enough.
Not long enough.
What are you talking about? I've put the hours in.
No.
Right? So another 400 people turn up at the gig. They cram them all in. There's people being crushed. You know, they've paid the money early. They were up early that day when the phone lines were open, whilst you were probably sleeping and that. So they're dedicated, and they're the ones at the front getting crushed.
What?
Would your
Why
mum and
are they
dad
getting
be
crushed?
happy if you were there getting crushed?
I don't mind. I'll sit at the side of the stage and watch him.
Yeah, but
I don't mind.
But everyone will say that then, and then
What?
before you know it,
Yeah.
no one can see anything because
No,
you're all on
Carl's right on
stage.
this one.
Leave
Right,
it.
yeah,
Leave
just
it.
right, I'm going to give you this. I'm now handing over my mobile phone to Steve to read the. You can see it's from Karl at the top, but just read it out as you scroll down. Just read it out loud.
Is this a text message from...
Yeah, this is a text message to me from Karl. Read it out.
To see at night as well as an owl, you would need eyes the size of grapefruits. If only Stephen could turn his head right round as well. Carl, I can't believe it. What upsets me most, Carl, right, is not the fact that you've been slagging me off behind my back. It's the fact that you've got the cheek to come on here and moralise because you failed to get me tickets and make a dream come true. You've come on here trying to pass the buck and say that it's a health and safety problem, when in actual fact it's a Karl Pilkington problem.
Do that. I got it in the bin.
I'm devastated. You know,
I didn't thought, let's play a record.
I'm
I should have
upset.
eaten this banana off air.
What's the number?
It's 08700 800 1234. But if it's sold out, Steve, it's sold out.
A bit of a classic here. R.E.M.
I bet if Ricky wanted to go, it'd be fine. I'm sure someone could sort it out then.
Who?
Oh, if Ricky Gervais wants to go, then
I'm
you can
going.
come. Are you?
No.
You want some tickets, then?
U2, Electrical Storm. That's great. That's great. I love that. On XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Karl, I want you to tell Steve what you told me in the week about the snake, about the anaconda. How to. Right. This is Karl's method. He's not scared of the anaconda, the 30-foot long, biggest, scariest snake.
No, you were talking
the
about
world.
stuff, weren't you, about in jungles and that, and animals.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Right.
And I remember reading about, say if you're in the jungle and you get tired and you go to sleep, right, and you sort of wake up and you feel something on your leg, and you look down and it's an anaconda, right?
Yes.
And it's swallowing your feet, because apparently they always go from the feet up. They never eat you from the head. So
Okay. Should I save these points to the end? Because
Make a list of the points.
Because they always eat head first, because the way the fur goes, where they have to take a capybara or even a rat, they take it from the head
But
first.
make a point.
Okay,
Make some notes
okay,
there.
so that's wrong.
We'll come back to
Okay,
this
next,
later.
go on. So they always eat you from the feet. Go on.
So they swallow in your feet, and it's said on the website, if you wake up and you see this anaconda doing that, sort of eating away at your feet, don't panic.
Don't panic. I'm just writing this down. Don't panic. Hold on. Okay, go on.
Don't try and kick it off.
Okay.
Just let it sort of swallow you. Mm-hmm. But only up to your knees.
Okay. Why not kick it off straight away? Because
I think it sort of gets a bit angry, it starts thrashing about, and it can swallow faster, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I'm guessing that bit.
Okay. Just put a question mark by that.
Okay,
there,
pop a question mark next to eat.
So
knees.
yeah, so
eat knees. So eat it up to your knees.
It's up to your knees,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
what you do is you get a knife
Yeah.
Okay.
and you cut
And how do you get a knife? Do you walk over to the kitchen?
I was going to pop over, get knife. Where's that coming from? Get the knife.
You always have a knife.
Okay. Always have a knife, of course you do. Otherwise you're a fool. Always have a knife, okay?
Well, come on.
Yeah.
If you're going to go into a jungle...
Always have a knife, okay.
Always have a knife, yeah.
Simple.
Could I just suggest something? You know, suppose you're wearing combat trousers, and the knife is actually in the trousers by the knee, the sort of pocket by the knee. What happens then? I suppose you could still reach into the mouth, couldn't you? So anyway, you've got a knife. Let's say you've got a knife. Let's say you've fallen asleep, the anaconda's chewing your feet, you let it eat up to the knees, you've got a knife. What do you do then, Karl?
Right. So it's up to your knees, and what you do, you get your knife that you got out of your pocket earlier, and you cut it at the mouth, right? Do you know, like either side of the lips?
Right.
So you're sort of cutting it in half.
Right, like a Chelsea smile.
And it can't, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It can't do anything. It wasn't ready for that. It can't move about because it's got, like, your legs in its mouth. And peel it off and walk away.
Okay. My main point, really, is this, Karl. Never will an anaconda or any constrictor, python, boa constrictor, just start eating a sleeping man. He will crush you to death first. That's why they're called constrictors. They're not called gobblers, are they? Or holy swallowers. They're called constrictors. Why would he start eating something? Is that how they take down antelope? Just start chewing their leg? Oh, it's gone off. I'll tell you what, lads. They get together. This next one there said, I'll tell you what, we're losing a lot of prey by just living at their ankles. They're running away. Let's crush them to death first so they can't move. Then we can swallow them. You're a fool.
So anyway, right, so I was telling him this bit of information because we started a feature last week. Well, week before.
Sorry, Karl, can we just go back to the crushing you to death first?
Yeah, but, well, I read it.
He's won there. He's beating you there, Rick.
Okay. Did it say what to do if it starts crushing you to death first? No. Did it say what to do? Supposing it had this meeting, and it started crushing you, and you woke up and it was actually round your chest. And every time you tried to take a breath and breathe out a little bit, it just tightened his grip because it can feel that. What'd you do then?
You sort of tighten yourself up anyway, because I've read about that.
Yeah.
If one does start wrapping it around you, you sort of make yourself into a ball, first of all, and it'll wrap around you, but it's alright because you're protecting your lungs, so it can't crush you, and then you just sort of shout for help. And you
shout out with this 30-foot snake. Do you know how it works? It gets as tight as it can. It can feel as actually as tight as it can, right? With these huge muscles, right? Yep. Right? When you leave a bit of breath out, it tightens again.
You won't be that out of breath. You haven't been running anywhere, so you can just go.
What? And when do you get the new mouthful of oxygen?
Just breathe very slowly, like you do.
How? Do you know what breathing is? Do you know what breathing is? It's extending your rib cage, right? Intercostal muscles between the ribs. Contract like that. Okay, making the rib cage expand, which pulls air in through. It's like a bellow. That you can't just breathe via the mind. It's a physical process. It's your rib cage.
Well, maybe I'm special, but I can do little breaths without my rib cage.
Play a record, Steve.
You're special.
Play a record.
No.
You can't take little breaths without moving your rib cage.
Can I just give you the titles because we're running out of time? We've got a competition to do.
Okay, all right. Let's just leave the anaconda discussion. Why don't you agree to disagree, and we'll see who survives if you crash land in the jungle.
Right. So,
what is this? What are you doing now?
This is educating Ricky. Right?
Oh, good. I'm going to look forward to this.
Yeah, 3 topics that I teach you every week.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I should just remind people, you normally summarise each of these in a kind of bullet point heading, which you tease us with. So what have you reduced them to this week? Right,
we've got Stocking, Aitken and Waterman.
Stocking, Aitken and Waterman. Good.
Yeah. What else have we got? We've also got, what else is it? It's not his vault. Yeah?
It's not what?
It's not his vault.
Okay.
Yeah? And we've also got Get a Lobe of This.
Get a Lobe of This?
Yeah.
Karl, they're genius. Rick, are we choosing one of these after New Order?
Foo Fighters and All My Life on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me, Stephen Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Just before we do educating Ricky, this is where Karl thinks he can give me something of interest and teach me something to take away. Last week I found out that somewhere in a strange land people thought tomatoes were poisonous because they ate them with lead. Things like that. What was the other one you told me?
What else was it last week? Bit of worms. Cut me off.
Yeah. Oh, I sent him a text message. I was on the train, a bit bored, and I read in, I think it was Metro, scientists have found out that worms get stressed, and they found out that the fat ones didn't live as long. And when they checked the thin ones that lived longer, they found out they had a gene for de-stressing them. Right? Karl, do you remember what you said?
No.
He went, well, that's stupid, isn't it? He said, did these other ones die of natural causes? I went, yeah. He went, all right. Because it could be that the fat ones couldn't get off the pavement quick enough and got squashed. So maybe the scientists go, yeah, we didn't. Yeah, they come to think of it, they were flat as well as fat.
I think the reason that the worms are getting stressed is because people like Karl are cutting them in half to try and make 2 snakes.
Yeah.
Two worms.
Well,
Yeah.
well.
That's the concern.
He said they can't even commit suicide if they're stressed by cutting their throat. I also sent what I thought was quite interesting, that the scientists have found that the elephant hasn't got the best memory. The sea lion has, based on they've got a sea lion, and they got it back into the old laboratory 10 years after it taught it a simple trick, and it could still do the trick. What did you say to that, Karl?
I'd say they don't get up to much anyway, so if you do teach it something, it is going to remember it.
Sure.
Because it's got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
And then it also, I mean, I like sea lions, they look nice and everything, but what do they do?
What was that? Sea lions?
Yeah, what are they here for? It's another jellyfish, as far as I'm concerned. It's like, it's there and people know about them, but what do they do?
Yeah.
What do we do? What do we do, Karl?
Well,
what do we do?
A cat, first, Steve said, is good for your heart. So
Why is it all geared to what's good for us?
Well. Anyway.
Educating Ricky.
Good, we've settled that then. Go on.
The titles that are meant to sort of pull you in.
Yeah.
We've got, what was it? Stocking, Aitken and Waterman.
Yeah.
You've got It's Not His Vault. And Get a Load with This.
Get a load of this. So, which pun do I pick first? I think I'll go for get a load of this.
Get a lobe of this.
Yeah, get a load of this, yeah.
Well, that's a story about a girl who, she was deaf, right, for 4 years. And, it happened quite a bit back this.
What year? Or was it,
I think it was
ages ago, was it?
About, yeah, quite a bit back. She was deaf for about 4 years, having an argument with her mum, it said, which I didn't quite understand, because I don't know how they do that.
Yeah.
But she was having an argument, and a man pushed her against a wall, and she banged her head, and her hearing came back.
Okay.
Was she wearing a Walkman, and it fell out? And she'd realised,
There's no explanation.
There's no explanation? Well, why is that teaching me something
Right,
then?
so I knew you'd say this, right? So I thought, right, I'll stick something on it. Do you know that bees are deaf?
No, you can't just, no. If you ask someone something they don't know the answer to, they don't tell you something else. Just, I'll tell you something else then. I can't answer that, I'll tell you something else. Imagine that, if you asked a teacher. Look, how do birds fly? Wow, if you're going to do that, tallest building is, I mean, what?
Well...
That was the equivalent, Karl, of running away when we asked you a question.
Yeah, the intellectual equivalent. Look over there, there's a monster.
Yeah.
Listen, what do you mean? What she... Okay, so...
So her
there's
hearing
no
came back.
explanation. There's no explanation. Or you don't know.
Well, there isn't one, is there, really? It's a bit
What,
weird.
But the only
did
thing
the doctors not look into it?
No, I think they just said, oh, that's good.
But, so again, I don't... Where did this information... Is that... If you read this on the net, is that all they put on
There
the
was
net?
once a deaf woman who hit her head and she
And her
could hear.
hearing came back.
It was bizarre things about being deaf.
Was there
Oh,
three, like...
yeah.
Was there
I've
sort
got
of,
that book, yeah, it's a good book, that.
Was there three more pages you just couldn't be bothered to read on?
Yeah.
No, it was just a little bit. And it
Was there a
said-
little picture, a cartoon picture?
No pictures, I just
And we
read
going,
it.
ow.
Look,
ow,
if you
I
don't
can
want to
hear.
know, if you don't want to learn, you know.
Yeah. Okay, it's not his vault. Let me have It's Not His Vault. You've got to save this. This has got to teach me something. It'll be an interesting story.
Right, It's Not His Vault. This fella,
Yeah. What year? Ages ago?
Olden times?
I'd say in the 70s.
Okay.
Would you? Any evidence for that?
And,
Does he wear flares in the story?
Right.
Is that your reason?
no, it's a bit like Yuri Geller, this fella, right? Where he's electric.
He's electric.
And, if he walks past the telly would fizz.
Uh-huh.
If he walked past the radio, it all goes like that.
Ooh.
His hair stuck up all the time. And he'd be having a bath and everything would be all right, and then the power would sort of switch on in his body, and the electric in his body made him jump out of the bath. So,
What do you mean so? What is that so? What does that so mean? You've given us nothing. You've given us nothing.
You'd have to at least give us the scientific explanation.
Yeah.
electric eels have 400 volts in them.
Oh, is this the running away again?
What was that one called?
Yeah, but but
It's not his vault.
But there's a reason not his fault. It's not his fault. I thought it was going to be something about
I think we should do these the other way round. I think you should tell us the story and then we'll hear the pun.
It's not his fault. It's not his fault.
Right, let's leave it.
Play a tune.
Forget it.
Educating Ricky.
Doing it. We're not doing it.
No, we are. What? Don't look at me like that.
Oh, Karl, you're in a bad mood.
The Coral,
I'm all right.
dreaming of you. Right, do the last one. Carl's saying we're never doing this again because we don't appreciate it. Yeah, Karl, you don't know how good this feature is, mate.
Right, last one.
Yeah.
Stocking, Aitken and Waterman.
Go on then, tell me about that one. What's that? What am I going to learn from this?
Right, well, do you know the saying, pot a sock in it?
I like it already.
Do you know the saying?
Yeah.
Right, well, do you know where it comes from?
I assume it's shut up, so I'll stuff your mouth with a sock to shut you up.
Years ago.
Yeah. Sorry, am I right?
No, not really. Ages ago.
1970s?
50s, I'd say. Do you know the old...
I'd say.
Do you know the old gramophone?
Yeah.
With the big horn on it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, well, those stereos didn't have a volume control on them. Right? So they'd be listening to
so you
the
put a
album,
sock in the...
and you'd put something like a sock.
That's a real one, you see. That's taught me something. That's good. That's excellent, Karl. That is the only one that counts, like chewing the fat, if they're true. I'm assuming they are. It works. It's of interest. I haven't got it verified yet, but that is educating Ricky. That's brilliant. I will say the other two were more entertaining. So, you know,
Do you understand the distinction, though, between that one and Electrical Man?
And, or I've hit my head, I can hear you, Mum.
Yeah. Can you see the difference, though? Or...
all three, because when I read all three, I took something away from all of them.
What did you take away from the Electrical Man?
I just thought, imagine that. Imagine how annoying that would be.
But that's not education.
And it's not taking anything away.
Think about it, right? We take our lives for granted all the time, don't you? You get up in the morning, it's like, oh, I'll get up and walk for a shower. Some people can't walk, right?
Yeah.
This guy, he can't even have you know what I mean? It's nice to have a bath, isn't it, when you got time on your hands and you can relax. This guy can't even do that. He might be alright for a bit, but he's not really enjoying it because at any moment it could strike.
Yeah.
So he can't even do that. He can't comb his hair because it keeps going a mess.
Yeah.
He can't watch his
Knocking you.
No, he can't.
Does he fight crime? What does he do with his powers?
Yeah.
I think he just has to sit around because he can't work with machinery.
Right.
Because he'll probably blow a fuse.
Yeah, so he just sits around.
Think about it. What can he do? What normal things can he do?
Skateboarding.
Going for long walks.
Yeah.
Put a wetsuit on.
Well, he couldn't do that.
Why?
Ooh, water and electric.
No, wetsuits aren't actually wet. They're dry initially.
Just put a whole wetsuit on and walk round with flippers and
A wetsuit's not like a dinner jacket that's like really wet.
Well, all I'm saying is think. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
And what was the other one again?
The girl's death, 4 years hits her head.
Yeah. That's just...
What have you learned from that?
What is that?
Well, imagine how happy you'd be. Remember that time when I nearly died when I choked on a Mr. Freeze pop? Right?
No, tell us that one again.
No, I told you, didn't I?
Tell us again.
Yeah, but the people will remember it, and then it's...
They weren't listening. Go on. What happened?
It was ages ago when my mum and dad used to go out shopping on a Friday.
1970s?
Get the food in. get a week's load of food in the cupboard and that, and we'd, they'd come in with all the food, and we'd all be like, oh, God, there's no food left on a Thursday, really, so we'd all be hungry on the Friday by the time the food got in.
I love that, that they wouldn't eat it. I imagine him like jackal puppies.
Yeah.
Just like licking your parents' mouth for food as they come through the door.
So they come in from the supermarket, they're emptying the box. Our kid had got some biscuits and what have you.
Frenzy, just a feeding frenzy, like pigeons.
I grabbed the Mr. Freeze pop and knocked it back really quick, but it wasn't frozen, so I knocked it back so it was like a liquid and it went down the wrong way, right, and I was choking, right, and I nearly died. It must have been about... How long can you go before you die?
A couple of minutes to do it.
I reckon about a minute 50. Right, I was really close to dying.
How do you know you were close to dying? Did your life flash before you?
No, but I just was like...
There's loads of instances of him eating pops.
Yeah, exactly.
I just was dead
40 of those.
Whatever, right?
What do you think you'd see if your life flashed past you? What do you think, which elements would stand out for you, do you think?
Start now, go back. What do you remember? What's the first thing you remember?
As a kid?
Yeah, just anything now.
Being in the hall and having our dog licking my face.
That's your earliest memory?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the next one?
Right, next one's probably being at primary school with Lindsay.
Yeah.
Was that your girlfriend?
Well, a little friend who was a girl.
Sure.
Yeah.
And we used to have like tins with letters in, and you'd have to write stuff. But anyway, what were we doing?
What? He got confused.
Right, so anyway...
I'm intrigued by the dog that was licking your face.
Well, bin that.
We worked with that.
No, it's a great feature. I just think you need to be a little bit more careful about what you consider to be education.
Gone funny. I fell over.
All right, well,
we'll work on it next week. Play a tune, and what have you got for us? Because we've got a big competition.
Come on. Do the competition. We've only got 25
Yeah, well, come on,
Don't worry about it, Karl. Play a tune. We'll come back with Rockbusters.
What are we playing?
Let's play a bit of Tupac.
Oh, that's what I'm coming out to, isn't it?
Yeah,
Fight.
exactly.
Yeah.
Imagine it.
Whack it up, whack it up.
Tupac, California Love.
Yeah.
And that's the big tune that Ricky will be coming out to when he has his celebrity boxing match. We're all looking forward to that, Rick.
Yeah.
Competition time, Karl?
Oh, Carl's looking forward to this. He's just getting all stressed about his half hour. Pete. Oh, go on.
It's just, we should have done this a lot earlier.
Why?
It keeps them hooked in. Right, if you haven't heard the game before, I'll give you some initials, bit of a cryptic clue, and those initials and the cryptic clue makes up some band. Might not be an XFM band, but it's a band or a pop group or an artist or something.
Yeah.
It's on
What's
email.
the feature called, though? What's the feature
called?
called?
Rockbusters.
Rockbusters, yeah?
Absolutely.
Do you want to, will we do this on email?
I think we ought to, because you don't like taking calls from the public, do you?
Well, he can't work the machine.
No, that's absolutely right.
It's not that, it's just that it's pretty fair for everyone. Because
Anyone who's got a computer, you mean? So it's open to anyone who's got, a computer or a laptop at their disposal at this precise moment.
Anyway, there's some cracking prizes, Rick, you'll be pleased to know. That obviously, once again, Karl has managed to collect together an arbitrary assortment of
just looking
giveaway stuff.
around the office.
I mean, where did you get these from? Seriously, where did you get them from? Because it's such an arbitrary collection.
What have we got there?
I don't know what kind of a person would want these items.
Right.
It's such an arbitrary selection, I don't know what kind of person you'd be.
Read them out, what have we got?
Well, there's another XFM compilation, which you've nicked from somewhere in the office.
Yeah, it's a good compilation remix to
there's
album.
an album here, which is a promo album with two pigs on the front. I think it's the Smashing Pumpkins Live. I can't be certain. This is the album. Didn't we give this one away last week? This is just an arbitrary compilation album. Again, one of those kind of...
Is that the actual one you didn't send, Karl?
No.
We've
got a couple of these.
I've got a job lot of them.
Surprise, The Office on DVD, which is ludicrous.
I've seen it from here. What film? Listen, dear XFM listener, it's 2:30. It's just a bit windy out. You're
probably going to stay in this evening.
Maybe do a bit of shopping. You got, and then stay in this evening. Or what film would you really want? No, I mean seriously. Think if you could see one film, right? What would you want to see?
DVD.
One of the big releases.
Yeah, it's great. We'll put them out of their misery. See, they'll be watching this tonight if they're a lucky winner.
It's the movie Stigmata. Stigmata with Patricia Arquette and Gabriel Byrne. So look forward to that.
That's great.
That's the big one.
That is brilliant.
You're playing
look at Karl's face. He's actually offended because he's the only one that puts any work into this show, and he's got competitions. He's got Educating Ricky, Rockbuster. He's got
the song with a story.
He's got a song with a story to come that he's gone through them. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. So you're playing for that collection of arbitrary goodies plus the big prize this week, Stigmata, featuring Gabriel Byrne.
Oh dear.
About a woman who I think starts bleeding from the hands. It's a horror film, I think. You have to be 18 or over
I've
to
seen
take part.
It's not terrible.
Sure.
It's all right. But
is it better than Children of the Corn, which was the big giveaway last week?
I haven't seen Children of the Corn. Go on then.
Right, so
next week, Teen Wolf 2.
Go on.
Here's the...
And Tony Banks's own solo album, Bank Statement. Tony Banks, remember, is the musician from the much-loved Genesis, but we got that album to give away.
All right, then. So, Right.
To win those exclusive prizes.
Yeah,
Go on.
yeah. You've got to email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
I saw a sellotape dispenser out in the office
there's
as
a
well, if
pair
you
of
want.
gloves that I don't know who's out, but they're out there and they've been there for a week. So
Let's send them
pair
as
of
well.
gloves, a sellotape dispenser, and Tony Banks's solo album, Bank Statement.
Yep.
Okay, go on.
Right, first one. Initials JT.
Initials
Alright.
JT. What's the cryptic clue?
Cryptic clue. At the moment, I'm in a river full of logs.
Hold on.
Yeah?
JT, and what's the clue again?
At the moment, I'm in a river full of logs.
Full of logs?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, who could it be? JT. At the moment, I'm in a river full of logs.
Yeah, go on,
Right,
next one.
second one, there's 3 of them you got to get. Letter is W.
Yeah.
The clue, that lad's got bad asthma.
That lad has got
I've
bad
got that
asthma.
one already. I've got that
Yeah,
one already.
W.
Yeah.
And
okay.
finally, the last one is the letter C.
Yeah.
And the cryptic clue
Is Karl is one of these.
Mousetrap is that musical, isn't it? This isn't the clue, by the way. It is called Mousetrap, isn't it?
There's not a musical.
It's not a musical,
it's
but
a play.
it's a
alright.
whodunit sort of thing,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's fine. Right, here's a clue. I saw that...
Imagine that. Imagine that on the real blockbusters.
Yeah, mate. Bob Owen is going, can we stop a minute? Oi, you with the 9 teddy bears there. Mousetrap, that's a show, isn't it, in London, isn't it? I think so, Bob, yeah. Right, okay, here we go.
Yeah, carry on.
So
The
it's-
camera's back on?
Yeah.
So the letter is C, and the cryptic clue. I saw that Mousetrap the other night, but the heating in the theatre was
What?
knackered.
What?
The heating in the theatre was knackered, right? Ruined it.
Well, I've got that one already as well.
Yeah?
I mean, these are... the first one's hard, but the
So-
those two
So
are
just a quick
ridiculous.
reminder, JT was the first one.
At the moment, I'm in a river full of logs.
Full of logs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second one, W, that lad's got bad asthma.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And the last one, C, I saw that Mousetrap the other night, but the heating in the theatre was knackered, and it ruined the whole thing.
Okay. And ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk is the email address. You can win
I'm confused. with the river
various
full of logs,
treats,
actually.
including
I'm in a
Stigmata.
I'm in
with
a
Gabriel
river full
Byrne.
of logs.
Yeah.
I'm in a river full of logs.
Well, we'll do it in about 20 minutes. They've
Yeah,
got
you've
20
got to
minutes
stay
think
tuned
about
for the
it.
answers.
It's not the quickest, so don't go rushing and sort of messing it up. Think about it, and it's random email anyway, so there's no rush, alright?
And if you want to email, you're welcome to say, please do not send me the prizes even if I win. Welcome to put that on there if you don't want that junk in your house.
Right. The reason we usually sort of play a record out of an outbreak, don't we?
Yeah.
Carl is so concerned with his little competition, he hasn't got a record ready.
Sure.
Got one.
Okay.
Sorted, are you?
Yeah.
Do you want to do a quick recap? Quick recap? I can't bother even to say it. I'm not interested. I'm just not interested.
Yeah, go on,
Recap,
quick.
Still send your emails in. JT, it's some initials of a band, just in case you didn't hear it last week. If I said AK and an exploding pet, that would be Atomic Kitten.
Yeah.
Right?
They know what a clue is.
So JT, at the moment, I'm in a river full of logs.
Yeah.
W, that lad's got bad asthma. And C, I saw that Mousetrap the other night. The heating wasn't working, it ruined the night. And, yeah, that's it. ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Some stuff.
Stigmata. Gabriel Byrne.
Richard Ashcroft. Check the meaning. Oh, I love that. That's brilliant. On XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington, who's our producer. A proper producer now.
producer.
No, but it's more like it now, isn't it? Before he was someone who pressed the buttons, then he was someone who pressed the buttons who we just made talk like a performing monkey.
I hear he's going to be lured away by the Today programme on Radio 4. Because they've lost their news editor, I think.
Educating Ricky, quite topical.
Absolutely.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Is
So when you say topical,
What do you mean
this is topical. This happened ages ago.
Yeah.
Your words, not mine.
Have they got a Ricky who works there?
We can look into that.
So this is the
Carl
big
set a
prize got to be given
competition.
away, Rick. They've got to be given away.
This is Rockbuster.
We've got obviously the big prize Stigmata this week.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give the prize to Ira. I think it's Ira or Ira, but she or he emailed in the right answers and then said if you could enclose the receipt for Stigmata, that would be much appreciated. But I'm amazed by the number of responses we've had.
And someone wants a copy of Tony Banks's solo album, which I was mucking around, so we'd better buy that in the week to give it away, because I think that'd be an amazing prize to give away.
If you just give the clues
do
again.
the clues and then just give the answer.
I'll tell you
Come on.
what the answers are.
Right, well, the one that everyone was struggling with was the first one.
Yeah.
I'll save that. So we'll go to the second one. W,
Yeah,
that lad's got bad asthma.
yeah, we know that.
That was Weezer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good one, well done.
The last one, C, the clue was, I saw that Mousetrap the other day. The heating was knackered in the restaurant.
Yeah.
In the restaurant?
In the theatre.
Yeah.
And it ruined the night.
Yeah. So it was a cold play, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's a cold play.
Yeah.
And JT, at the moment...
I can't think of this one.
At the moment, I'm in a river full of logs.
Well, I had to say there were some wrong answers. What was it again?
It was Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake. We had some wrong answers that included Jethro Tull and James Taylor. I don't know how that relates to it at all.
I'm annoyed at Lake when he clearly said river. I mean, that's the first thing that cropped up. Not I'm in some water full of logs at the moment. I'm in some water full of logs. But he actually had to say river, so not lake. That annoys me. I mean, I didn't get it. Fair enough. I should have worked it out. I should have tried to think like you.
Get it.
A lot of people obviously think like you, which is which I'm worried about. But yeah, James Taylor is great. James Taylor.
Just someone guessing.
Yeah, James Taylor works.
Have we got a winner? Stevie's just going to randomly pick one.
I did have a winner. I've just lost them.
Oh.
Needless to say, that lucky person
won't be watching Stigmata tonight. Just randomly, it's a draw, by the way. It's not the first one. Okay, I said to Karl in the break, I said, "Is the first one in?" He went, "No, I don't want a competition that relies on speed because I don't want to be rushed."
Okay.
So randomly click on someone.
I'm just going to randomly click on one.
Go on.
They've not put an address.
Well, what we can do, we can email back and say, send us your address.
Well,
of course you can.
I think if they haven't put an address.
Well, no, let's read it
hang
out.
on. All right.
Yeah.
Chris Beaumont. Lucky Chris Beaumont.
Chris Beaumont will be watching Stigmata tonight with a club of Haagen-Dazs, if I'm not much mistaken. He'll be loving it.
Well done to Chris.
Need his address. Right then.
That's the end of that competition.
Right.
Can we play a record or something?
Well, we're on to another feature.
Oh, what is this?
This one is...
Rick, were you not at the planning meeting?
What is this? Go on.
This is, that song's got a good story in it.
Oh, is this that? Oh, God.
So tell us the rules.
Yeah. Right, the rule is that it's songs that we play on the show every week, and there's a lot of music out that they just keep saying the same thing over and over.
What is it? What's the song with the story this week?
A good story.
What's the song with the story this week? Just say it.
It's Gene Pitney, 24 Hours from Tulsa.
Oh, I'm really sorry about this. If you're an XFM listener, we got to listen to this. Go on.
Well, do you know what it's about?
Yeah, isn't he trying to get back to his girlfriend?
Yeah, he's been working away. Lives in Tulsa. He works quite far away.
Right.
And he's
Will this save us having to listen to the song?
Well, it's always good to sort of
hear the story before you hear the story.
It's like you know.
Sure. I like this before a film. Yeah.
No,
go on.
you might read the book before you see the film, type thing.
Yeah,
so
never in my case.
He's working miles away. His missus is in Tulsa. He's driving back. Yeah. And he can't wait.
He's only about 24 hours away, as I remember.
He's about 24 hours away, and he's a little bit tired on the way home. He's thinking, I don't want to look a mess for when me missus sees me. So he says, right, I'll stay at a motel, get some energy and that, for when I see her, have a shave.
Bar.
So he pulls over at a motel, and he's locking his car up, getting his suitcase out the back. There's a woman in the car park. He's like, oh, she's all right. She looks at him, he thinks...
XFM 104.9.
I don't think the suitcase in the boot is mentioned in the song. I think that's maybe a 12-inch mix or something. I've not heard that.
Well, basically, right...
I don't remember...
I'll play the record, for Christ's sake! Let them listen to it!
I don't remember him saying, cool, she looks all right in the record.
Well done. Yeah. 24 Hours from Tulsa, Gene Pitney, song with a story.
You are quite upset by the lyrics of that song, aren't you?
I just think it's a bit annoying that, right, he loved this woman.
Yeah.
Everything's going fine. He's only 24 hours away from home. I don't know what sort of distance he's done. But he can't wait to get home. And all it took was some woman in the car park to sort of
give her the eye.
Give her the eye. And all the good times he's had with his missus go out the window. And, I don't know.
That's the dangers of falling in love with a prostitute. What I like about it though is the fact that he's writing this to his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
It's like talking about rubbing it in. Yeah. I was kissing her and getting off with her. We were having a wild
didn't take as long as Karl did explain it though. Yeah.
But did you hear the very end? Because he's the loser. Because he said, and he can never go home again.
Yeah.
So even though he's got this new girlfriend and that.
Yeah.
He can't see his old mates.
He has falling in love with her.
He can't see his old mates anymore, he said. He can't see his old mates anymore.
Yeah. It's a sobering lesson.
I'll tell you a song.
Next time you stop at the Granada services on the way back from, Swansea, be careful.
There was a song that was a bit like that by Jim Reeves, probably about the same time, a little bit before, right? It was just called, just 100 miles from Mary Ann, right? And it was him and his horse going through the snow, and he was just
He stopped at a little chef.
yeah, he fancied another donkey. No, but it's really sad. It used to make me cry when I was little, because he got there, right, and he wouldn't leave old Ben, the horse, and he dies in the snow, and then so he... Foo Fighters. All my life on XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant, and of course Karl Pilkington. Ooh, have we got a show for you today?
What have we got planned?
Loads of stuff, and 2 hours of it.
Right.
And all the records.
Specifically, what sort of stuff have you planned for us? Because I know you've been working hard.
What have you done?
Well, you know, I've been busy this week. I've been house hunting, I've various things, but I know you've had the whole week off.
Right.
So what have you been up to, mate?
Go on, Karl, tell them what we've got. Tell them what we've planned, all the stuff you've done.
What have you got?
But Rick, specifically, what have you come up with? Quick, because people are getting bored. Tell us what
I've come up with the music.
Right. Obviously we've already planned that. We planned that last week, so that's all done. But what have you yourself contributed to today's show?
I got a text message today from Ross Noble. You know Ross Noble, the comedian. It was on. Have I got news for you?
Right.
He says, ask Karl if he woke up with ladies' boobs, would he just put a dress on and live as a lady, or would he just be a man but with these boobs?
Karl, it's a good question. I know that happened to Ross, so he's throwing that one out at you.
It did in a way, because he ate pizzas for a year, didn't he?
Yes, he did, yeah.
And he got a lovely pair of breasts.
Yeah.
Go on.
Probably just find a loose-fitting jumper, go to the doctor's.
What would you say to the doctor? How would you explain this phenomenon to the doctor? So you'd be happy with this because you believe in shite, like
No.
happening. Go on.
But it can happen, because I told you a couple of weeks ago how that can happen. How you can wake up with breasts if you're a fella. I told you.
Go on.
Haven't you remembered?
No, funny that, isn't it? Go on.
Have you, Steve?
No, I don't remember this. Did you tell us on air?
Yeah. It can happen if you go to Argentina and have a steak. You can wake up with breasts. Because
I'm sure I'd have remembered
Karl,
that.
pull the other one. Look, he likes that. He likes that.
Is that what you've come up with this week? That joke?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Play a record. It's going to be a dynamite show.
Songs you want
listen, look, I'm going to play some classic tunes today. I'm going to educate the youngsters, Steve. Right, now, you've all heard of Lou Reed, you've all heard of Velvet Underground, but, you know, have you heard of Venus in Furs, Karl?
Shiny, shiny, shiny boots of leather.
Venus in Furs, Velvet Underground. What a great start. What a classic song.
They continue to sound fresh and contemporary.
It's just, do you know what that song's about, Karl?
No.
M&S.
It's about M&S.
You know that?
Yeah.
You know the shop?
Yeah.
It's all about that.
Yeah.
Whiplash, Smile and all that, all the things you can get at Marks and Spencer's.
Shiny boots of leather.
Yeah. Being whipped.
Yeah. I think that's a new division they've opened.
Yeah, but we have got a great show lined up,
Have we? No, go on.
We know we have. No, because we've got Rockbusters coming up, the great new
looking
quiz.
forward to that.
That's made the press.
Has it?
Yeah. Frimley Tea Rooms newsletter mentioned it. We've also got
That's Karl's local, isn't it?
Yeah. We've also got Educating Ricky, where Karl educates me. The one last week, a girl, right? She was deaf, and she was having an argument with her mum, and she pushed her and she hit her head, and then she can hear again.
Yeah.
Don't know what I learned from that.
No.
It might be subliminal. Someone might be going. It might be a metaphor that I will learn from.
Yeah, it's like a parable.
Yeah. So look at his face. We might as well be talking Dutch, mightn't we, Karl? Say something quick. It's radio.
I don't understand what you want from me.
Oh, we're only joking.
Right. So, educating Ricky, I've worked a bit harder this week. We've got some good stuff.
Okay.
I'll give you the
teaser headlines later.
Headlines in a bit.
Yeah.
So you've got Rockbusters as well.
Karl's having a bit of a stressful week because he thinks he's not appreciated because he gets in at what time do you get in? About 8 or 9, don't you?
Last week, I've been busy this week. I've been in at about 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah, and you've been leaving when?
About 8:30, 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, you're in Saturday.
Yeah, I'm in now.
You get paid, don't you?
I'm busy at home.
A lot of people work late, Karl. A lot of people work 12-hour days.
Why are you busy at home, Karl? What are you up to?
Because we're trying to sort out a move. I've been trying to call round this morning to get someone to buy a futon on a table from me.
Yes. Well, we could put that appeal out now, couldn't we? If anyone wants to buy a futon or a table.
Do you think a futon that Karl Pilkington slept on?
How much you asking?
Whatever.
Well, you need
for the
well,
two. You've got to take the two. I don't want like different people coming round and that.
Sure. What do you
You've
need
got to
time?
buy a futon on a table.
It's quite specific, isn't it? Someone has to want a futon.
Yeah.
The specific futon you're
It's
selling
like
and
a
the
tea's
table.
made, isn't it? Alarm clock and tea maker. This is futon and table.
Looking for about £100.
And it's good condition, the futon.
Yeah.
Right, no
It's not
stains,
dribbled on it?
you haven't pissed
No.
yourself in the... no.
No,
right.
nothing. And what kind of table? What sort of table are we talking? Are we talking like a table for a lounge, a dining table?
No, for like a computer and just something.
Has it got any drawers? Are there any drawers? There's no
No,
drawers.
it's just a nice wooden table.
Right, is it kind of
solid.
oak or is it sort of an IKEA sort of thing?
No, it's like oakish.
It's oakish.
Yeah.
Okay.
So £100.
The futon is just a mattress and the pallets. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. You see, you get cheap futons, don't
This
you?
is a good one,
This
is
is
it?
a good one. It's
How much would that have retailed for when you
I
purchased
think I
it?
paid about $250 for
Right,
it.
so it's a bargain for
Well,
people.
if you look at it, if you
And how long have you had it? How old
This
is
is
it?
a whole new strand.
Well,
isn't
I'm
it?
thinking
I
this
don't
is a
think it's
great-
legal. I don't think we should use.
I'll tell you what I'm interested in Rick, is just finding out a little bit about the sort of thing that Carl's got in his home, you know.
I'm interested in if people will phone up to spend £100 just to go round
Carl's house,
No,
yeah.
no, I won't be. No.
What?
No, they'll come here. I'll bring it to work, and they can pick it up here. Don't
I'm
be
going to bring a
So they should meet you.
futon and a table to work. Don't you ride a bike
So hold
to
on, we
work?
need someone with a van now.
Yeah.
So we need. Is anyone who wants to? But they're not allowed around your house. Can they meet you next door? Someone with a van.
Could they meet you in your street somewhere?
Hold on, could they meet
What
you?
if
With
you-
hold on, what about the little Chinese fellow that lives across the road on the two bouncers and the old woman who's dead reading a book? Could you meet him
I've
somewhere?
got an idea. What about if you meet at the end of your street, you blindfold them, like they do when terrorists take the negotiator to the hideout,
the big cheese.
and so you could do that, and so you know they could piece together maybe where you live
With
from the sounds and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But what about that, Carl? That's just a great idea.
Yeah.
And would you sign the futon for people? Do you think? Would you give them a little signature, or maybe at least a
Sign
bill
the
of
pallet,
purchase?
couldn't you? You could sign the pallet.
Yeah. Or I could try and get work to buy it off me, and then we give it away for Rockbusters.
Do you think they do that? Do you think they do that? I think they'd probably do it for Foxy with his big.
Well, imagine
hog.
how big that would
Imagine
be.
if he wanted to sell his hog.
Yeah. That is a motorbike, isn't it?
Yeah. He's been selling his hog for money for years, hasn't he? Oh dear.
So well, we'll see about that. See if we
So,
get any
if
interest.
people are interested, maybe email ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk if you're interested in a futon.
By Karl's
and-
futon
and, and a
competition, £100 ONO.
Exactly.
Yeah? Yeah?
What gear have we got anyway?
I never knew what that meant. Oh, I know. I thought it went sort of on
no.
the nose.
Oh, no. On the
On the nose.
Oh, that's good, yeah. Well, tell them what we got to give away, Steve.
So actually, I have to say, you've excelled yourself
We've got
this
the
week.
Richard Ashcroft's single coming up soon after this. Go on.
Since when have you taken to talking like that? It does amuse me.
Go on.
This is a nice little collection here. This is a 3 DVD set. David Attenborough's The Life of Birds, Trials of Life, and Life in the Freezer.
That's a good one, isn't it?
That's a selection of animal-based documentaries.
Yeah.
We've got... now this
What
is
is
actually-
best at?
Well, absolutely.
I hate when he goes off the ball and does like fast cars.
This is very, very good indeed. This is a best of David Bowie compilation.
It is a very good,
Just,
it's a
in
proper
time for
one,
Christmas.
not the rubbish ones that no one else wanted. This is a brilliant compilation.
Yes,
of the
excellent
Bowie.
selection on there. We've got this. Now this looks like a Madness. Oh no! It's far worse than we could possibly have imagined. It seems to be some kind
Is it Our
of
House
tie-in with the Our House Madness musical.
And it's a cast of 20 people who wanted to be singers.
It's tricky to find out. I can't figure out if it's the originals or not. But needless to say, if you're a Madness fan, I'm sure that'll be an absolute
Yeah, you love
treat.
that. You love that. You'll love that.
Now I know that
Steve, I wouldn't mind that DVD collection myself, but I can't.
That's
It's
true
the giveaway that no, we can't.
I'm talking of great compilations. What about this? It's Country Legends. I'm
Oh,
seeing
that's
on the front
all
there
right.
Glenn Campbell. We've got Dolly Parton. We've got what should we call it? On the car on the
What
front.
do we call it?
He's a great performer.
Yeah.
Jake, whatchamacallit.
Oh, excellent.
Some great hits from him. So that's there as well.
well, that-
Country
what a
Legends.
collection.
That same XFM compilation, again, easy to get hold of if you
But the
are
big
in
one, the
building.
big one, the film that Karl
This is
picks
it.
every week. The big
DVD
one.
movie this week.
Don't go out tonight if you've got a DVD player and a television set, because
No.
you'll be staying in and watching this fantastic film.
It will tear your soul apart. It's Hellraiser. The original Hellraiser. Bear in mind, it has been on Channel 4 and Channel 5 and on most cable channels since it came out. But if you haven't seen it, if you're one of the only people who has not seen it, and of course you have to be over 18 to play, then you can win Hellraiser.
That is fantastic. Well, play a song, Karl. We'll come back to that. More great stuff.
Indeed. The competition coming up later. Email only, isn't it, Carl?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Futon.
Futon's still available.
Richard Ashcroft. Check the meaning. Well, Karl, you're chuffed, aren't you? What's happened? What's just happened? Tell the listeners what's
This
happened.
just sparked you up a bit.
Steve's just called up. He's putting an offer for the futon and the table.
Yeah.
I think he definitely wanted it, but I said, look, think about it over the weekend.
Yeah.
Give us
You're
a
not a
call.
hustler.
No, well, I'm not going to rush him into it, because once he's got it, he can't bring it back. I'm not messing about.
No.
So the bloke said, what sort of wood is it? Karl said, sort of like a light brown colour. He went, what, beach coloured? Karl went, depends what beach you're on. Which was nice.
You do understand there's a wood that's called beach.
well, he's happy. He likes the sound of it. Nice plum cover. He's going to be.
Yeah. Is Karl going, that'll go with Magnolia? He's just going, I'll tell you what, looked nice in your spare bedroom. It was like an episode of Change Rooms. It was like listening to an episode of Karl.
He did the deal in under 3 minutes, wasn't it?
It's pretty good, isn't he?
He phoned in about halfway through in that song, so you worked pretty quick, Karl, I gotta say.
Yeah.
It's your Manx scally way.
I'm sure we're not allowed to do this, though.
No, I think it's highly criminal.
Yeah.
Have you got anything that you get?
Well, I'll tell you, I am moving shortly, so I mean, I might come in next week. I could have a couple of
I
things,
threw away a desk the other day.
I gotta get rid of a bed, a chair, because I'm pretty tall. This is so pathetic. When I moved up to London, my dad said, well, you want to be careful, because the seating in a lot of these London pads, it's bad seating, very low back, fashionable, isn't it? Fashionable chairs and stuff. You're a big guy, 6'7", you need like a decent chair. We went to a shop, it was like a second-hand furniture shop, right? I bought this chair, very high back.
Why did you buy that for a solo? I love that.
It was just a chair, so I could sit in my room and watch TV.
But was it a soft chair or was it a wooden chair?
It was kind of like a sort of, well, let me explain, because it's kind of like an armchair, but it's kind of got wooden arms. So I get this chair, I bring it out to London, I think, this is a great chair, this is a wonderful chair. I'm going to be watching TV, everyone else is going to be in agony.
But
I've got this lovely chair, right? And I brought it out, and someone went, they looked at it, they went, isn't that an orthopaedic chair? And I looked at it again, right, and I realised it's kind of white cleanable. It's made of some kind of fabric that allows you to just mop it down with a wet cloth.
Why?
Because I think it came from an old people's home.
Oh.
You know when you see, like, old people in some kind of social room in an old people's home, just sat watching a little crappy old TV, and you can wipe everything clean. It's one of those chairs.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So if anyone's, maybe they've got an elderly
Didn't you
relative.
keep slipping off?
And it's also the most uncomfortable chair, because unless you've got chronic back pain, it's just the most uncomfortable chair. It makes you sit bolt upright, if not slightly forward.
You've done a good sale on it. I think either the phones are going mental. How much do you want for that, Steve?
If you've had a recent accident, or you've got a disabled or someone in the house who's just elderly, then you might want to get in touch. I'm happy to even take that off, man, for 25 quid.
This is so wrong.
25 quid, I'll take that. Or maybe just setting up an old people's home, it's a little pet project.
Yeah, you don't get a lot of grant. We can help.
Exactly.
We can help. I mean, and because Steve's such a high flyer, I mean, if it really is a good cause, they just give it to you.
Well, let's not rush into anything, really. I like to assess each case, individually.
Yeah.
But certainly if you are a charity, then I might go for 20 quid. You take off my hands for 20 quid. But otherwise, 25. And I tell you, because it's in good condition, because I haven't really sat on it.
5 quid off if you really are.
And there were some stains. I've wiped them clean.
Yeah. Oh dear. Well, that's fantastic. So
I tell you what, we should resuscitate next week. Swap shop. The multicoloured swap shop.
Honestly,
it's a great format.
But there's a couple of things I've always wanted to get back at. Swap shop is one of them, and the other one is Superstars.
I don't remember Superstars.
Superstars was great because it was like the people of their time. So you'd have like people like nowadays. You'd have Beckham and what's his name? It was a tennis player.
Rosetsky.
Yeah, Rosetsky. And they have to compete. So all these people have to compete at each other's sports. And they have to choose 7 out of 10 sports. And there's a leaderboard and there's a big final. Oh, Keegan came off his bike.
It's
Brian Jacks
like
always used to win it. No, it's real sports. It's proper sports. It's 100 metres, tennis, weightlifting, all the real sports. You can't do your own sport.
Well, I know you're a pretty big guy now in British TV. You're a bit of a big shot. What do you reckon? Pull some strings?
Let's get it back on there. Superstars.
Superstars, sounds fantastic.
Me, Johnny Vegas, Peter Kay. For the bigger fella, I think, maybe. The comedy superstars. What we got next? We've got a bit of Springsteen, haven't we?
Let's play Springsteen. This is a track from his current album, The Rising. A lot of people think Bruce is a bit MOR, a bit middle of the road or whatever, but, I just think, piss off.
Yeah.
I just think, screw you.
Get lost, you.
Yeah.
Imagine there's your open top caddy.
Yeah,
you're just going around
country.
Route 66. You're going home maybe for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
To see your folks. Just turn up the radio if you are.
Play the tune.
Probably not, though.
That just reminded me when I bought So stop it for a second. Just realised when I brought a woman back and she saw the orthopaedic chair.
Did
You bring a woman back to your pad. Oh, it's embarrassing.
And the harness.
Yeah. And the truss.
Yeah, and can you give me those 2 splints? I'm sorry? Those 2 splints there. Well, I've got to go, have you?
Is this a potty under the bed? The Rising title track from Bruce Springsteen's current album.
Great
Rising.
track.
Yeah, it's good tune.
Great. It's just that feeling of it's melancholy and uplifting. We've had quite an interactive show so far because we've got a call that Superstars is coming back. It's due to come back in the BBC schedules, which is great news. Apparently, Steve Redgrave is one of them. I just don't think will professional footballers be allowed to take part these days, though. We're not on 50 grand a week. You can't really have them falling off bikes and their ankles, can
Yeah,
you?
McCaskill last night.
Yeah, I'm slippery big love, yeah.
Ian McCaskill.
Oh, he like about 3 times, didn't he? Oh, did you see Slippery Fig?
No, I haven't seen it.
There was a great moment where they had to go into a thing called a bod pod, and you sit in it, and it's quite space age, and it analyses you, and it tells you percentage body fat. Now, I think men are meant to be about sort of 15 to 25% body fat. Women are meant to be about 20 to 30 body fat, and they all went in there, and it went in there and it said, in McCaskill, and it came up, 34% body fat or whatever, slightly overweight, and we're going to 38% overweight. Then it went, the other one, 45% body fat, obese. Then it went, Jono.
Did it say, I don't want to tell you?
Yeah. And then it went, 50% body fat, very obese. Then Rick Waller was sat in there, and it came up 60% body fat. And I wanted it to come up slug. But it came up morbid at 60, you're 60% fat.
So 60% of him is fat?
Yeah. 60% of his entire makeup.
That's extraordinary.
It is,
well, you know my feelings about Waller.
Well, then let's go on to it.
Well, that's the reason I don't watch the show, actually.
I do feel a bit sorry for him. I think he is trying, although the fella there thinks he's not trying. So I don't know who to believe, Steve.
Sure. Yeah,
I don't know who to believe Waller, and he does get pains in that, and he is a bit...
The problem is, right, he does like his food.
Yeah, we all like our food.
But if he didn't do the exercise, he wouldn't be as hungry, and he might not get fat.
This is a whole new nutritional outlook.
Absolutely.
So you're saying, don't exercise and carry on eating, and that's interesting. Let me write that one down. I will send that to the British
Nutritional Organisation.
Yeah, no, that's good. Karl Pilkington. Okay, well, no, it's a good...
I'm no doctor or anything.
Whoa, yo, come on, stop being so bloody modest.
Please.
You are a doctor. You're not a doctor, seriously. You didn't qualify. That's interesting.
You dropped out early, or?
That's mad. That is mad.
I mean, you're as good as doctor, you just didn't get the paperwork or whatever. You just didn't turn up for the exam.
He was just saying that Bruce brings him, depressed him a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it reminds him of when he worked in the supermarket. And, it's funny like a song can do that, take you right back there. He went, yeah, nothing else can do that. I said, well, actually, smell is the most evocative sense, because smell is linked to memory in the brain. And he went, yeah, they probably said that before music, though. And now all science are going, we better revisit this because there's music now. Yeah. We've had this theory knocking around for, 10,000.
I went to see Bruce, you'll be pleased to know. I just want the fans of the show to know that I did make it to Bruce Springsteen's concert last week. And he started with that song we just played, and it was dynamite. I mean, he never let up. Almost 3 hours, he rocked the joint. He's 53, he was sliding across, it was pure rock and roll. Pumping our fist, sliding across the floor on his knees, he was jumping on the piano. It was real Jerry Lee Lewis rock and roll. And it was dynamite. And I just was looking around though, and when I am the trendiest person at a gig,
oh dear,
then I'm in trouble. Do you know what I mean? And there was some of the people there. I imagined, on Amazon.com, it says like, people who bought X also bought Y.
Yeah.
And I think people who bought tickets for Bruce probably bought tickets for Martin Knopfler.
Yeah,
Dave Gilmour.
Yeah,
Pink Floyd, without Pink Floyd.
But
Stevie Nicks.
But there's also all the monsters rock. They probably buy Stones when they visit. And probably Tina
It's the
Turner.
blue wash jeans.
Yeah.
It's the small waistcoats. Over a denim shirt.
Plaid shirt, maybe sort of like Timberlands. Nothing wrong with Timberlands. That's libelous.
Sure.
No.
Sure.
See, I've done it again.
Yeah. But so it was hell getting out. I couldn't find, I went to the tube and it was a nightmare because some of the tubes weren't running. I just said to my friend, sod this, stormed off, trying to find a cab, couldn't find a cab, wandering around Wembley, just livid. Fuming because I couldn't find a cab. I was screaming because I was going, I've got money, I'm on the radio, I've had a TV show, I've got the cash, I'm willing to spend it. There's no one who can help me get home. And I was thinking,
I've seen him shout this in Brewer Street.
Yeah.
Just to stand in the middle. Go on.
And I was thinking to myself, what would you have done there? Because in the end, I just sat in a little cafe, had something to eat. But you, I mean, if you couldn't get a cab, what would you have done? Just because I was looking, there was a couple of hotels near Wembley. I was thinking you'd have just checked in.
Yeah, and just
stayed till the morning.
Yeah, when there's a cab, let me know.
I was thinking, because you were thinking of going, would you have booked a cab beforehand?
Yeah.
Would you have thought to do that?
Yeah, I'd have got a cab there and I'd have booked a cab
One of
somewhere.
the helicopters just took you back home.
Yeah.
Oh, he's having a dig, isn't he?
He's having a laugh, isn't he?
Blimey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Play the ads.
Death in Vegas. Scorpio Rising.
Featuring the voice of, is it Noel Gallagher?
Liam, innit?
Is it Liam?
Sounded a bit like him.
Liam, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
Excellent, yeah. Right, okay, let's get this show well and truly on the road. We better start educating Ricky next, Carl. What have you got for me? I can't wait for learning. I need learning. I need education.
We should just
Teach
explain,
me something.
obviously, for those that have just tuned in, Karl tries to teach Ricky 3 things each week.
Based on the pun title.
And yeah, each of
Educating
them, just to tantalise Ricky, is abbreviated into some kind of headline.
a cryptic clue involving a pun.
So what have you got for us this week? There's lots of-
They are really cryptic this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
First story, little headline, is don't worry about him, he candle it.
He candle it.
Yeah.
Sounds a bit like he can handle it, but it's not. Brilliant.
Second one.
Oh, get a lobe of
Get a lobe of this.
Some classics. Who can forget? Get a lobe of this.
Yeah. Coming soon.
And stocking 8 Waterman. Go on.
Second one, I'm committed to this treatment.
I'm committed to this treatment.
Yeah.
All right, tantalising.
Yeah. And the last one, the police are causing a bit of a stare.
The way he looks when he says it. I wish we could see. Can't we get Karl on telly?
There's got to be a way.
We cannot. With all the cable channels, anyone can get on telly these days. Let's phone up. Let's get you on Choice or something. Just Karl.
What are you going for?
Oh, he can handle it, I think.
Don't worry about him, he candle it.
He candle it.
Sorry,
Okay,
yeah.
let's hear this one.
Right, are you familiar with the phrase burning the candle at both ends?
Yeah.
Do you know how it's come about?
I know a man who does.
I assumed that it was to get more light in the room.
How would that work?
Well, they'd put it sideways and light both wicks, so out of one candle they could get two. No, go on.
No, what it is...
Oh, it means you're doing too much, you're staying up too much,
Right.
you're not getting enough sleep, and you're...
Well, years ago,
Yeah.
when they didn't have light bulbs and that.
Oh yeah, what year is this? Literally ages ago, specifically.
Yeah, quite a bit back.
Okay.
Didn't have light bulbs and that, so they used to have candles
When
in
did the light bulb come in? Because I can't remember at the moment.
don't know.
Okay, go on.
So, yeah, so they've got a light bulb.
You're not, you wouldn't know, you're a doctor, you're not a historian. Go on.
And people who worked a lot of hours, yeah,
How many? Literally lots?
they get up early in the morning because they have to be up early.
Yeah.
And it's dark outside, so they'd light the candle.
Sure.
And they'd wear it out a bit. And then they'd be getting in late as well.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, oh, it's dark, I'll have to light the candle again. And they're burning candle at both ends of the day. So that's where the saying comes from, burning the candle at both ends. So,
All right.
that's a little lesson.
Yeah.
Lesson one.
Okay. Can I have...
No, you can't have
You
another
can't
one
rush
yet.
into them, Rick. You've got to.
I've got to soak in that.
You've got to soak that one in. Any questions for Karl off the back of that?
What do you think?
So people were, I mean, basically where this comes from is people were...
They're literally burning the candle at both ends of the day.
Sure.
There you go. So we've still got,
Go on.
I'm committed to this treatment. And
I can't wait. This is like Christmas
Rick, I
Eve for
should
me.
just say-
It's like Christmas. I've got to open another present now.
No, I'm afraid we've got to save it. Rick, listen, we often get a lot of email correspondence during the show, Rick, which I don't sort of pass on to you because, I mean, you're busy, you're planning the show and stuff,
Sure,
you've got a lot of ideas, you've got music and stuff to worry about. So I check the emails, and we get a lot of response. A lot of people obviously, want to give us feedback. Just a sample one, from Richard Anderson. He's just emailed us in here, Rick, because he's been listening to the show. He says, Ricky, your show is appalling. Are you actually aware you're on the radio, or has someone just secretly stuck a microphone on you? That's from Richard Anderson. So that's typical of the kind of feedback, Rick, we're getting today. So,
Is that good, is it?
So that's the kind of, high positive praise that we're getting. So,
I'm glad Anderson's listening because I wanted him
Yeah, no, I mean,
I was gunning for him as a fan.
I was worried that
early on in our career. So I think he's hooked now, though.
But thanks, Anders, for getting in touch. Good work.
He's sitting through it for Hellraiser, though, isn't he?
Yeah, well, that's still to come.
Still to come. Still to come. What are we playing?
A bit of old dirty I can't say the word. It's offensive. Old
Is it
ODB.
bollocks? Is it old dirty bollocks?
No.
What is it?
Old dirty.
Old dirty big cock. What is it?
I can't tell you.
Breaks up.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny word, isn't it? It's a funny word.
What other funny words are there,
Although
Karl?
XFM's a funny word, I just say the letters out because the word doesn't make sense.
Just let me just check Richard Anderson's email again. Just remind myself of.
Go on.
Ricky, your show is appalling, Richard Anderson. Thanks. What I like about Dickie Anders is that he's obviously so angry, he's so annoyed by the show that he's bothered to email just to get the venom out. Because otherwise you'd just think you'd switch over.
Well,
he's obviously so annoyed. He
knows how to hurt someone as well.
Exactly. He's really taken the time out to show his disapproval.
Of giving up.
I'll tell you what, though, it is pretty hard to listen to.
What, this?
Yeah.
I've listened back to the tape that when you're making that thing for the best of.
Yeah.
And I sounded like Albert's Taplock. I really sounded like some sort of punch-drunk stroke victim. And oh, there you go. I was going to say, I don't remember myself like that.
Yeah.
I do apologise. It's not a great planned show, slick word of articulate sentence, is it? But I mean, then who is?
But I think there's so many shows that are nowadays on radio. I think there's a lot of stuff that's heavily formatted, and there's with I don't know, presenters who are professional and have got some sort of degree of talent and ability to sort of string a sentence together. I'm thinking Chris Moyles.
Yeah,
predominantly.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm bored with those people.
Exactly.
I think we need a little bit of Karl in our life.
I'm just thinking, actually, just suddenly struck me. If you want to get rid of your furniture,
got a buyer.
You've already got a buyer. Because if there's any other stuff, we were clearing some stuff out of our place recently, and we just dumped some stuff outside on the street because we were going to take it and take it to the tip later. Just dump some stuff outside, and I have never seen so many people come out of the woodwork scavenging through our garbage. It was incredible. They were like zombies.
Well, that's what I was saying.
They were like flies around shit. It was crazy.
When I said to Karl.
That's what you should just do. Just dump it outside because you'll get taken.
When he went, he said, "Do you think I asked enough, 100?" I went, "Yes, definitely." He went, "Oh, what could I ask?" I said, "No, don't do that." I said, "Because you'll end up having to pay the council to take it away." He said, "I wouldn't." He said, "I'd rather just dump it and let a little homeless fella have it." And then he went, and where's the little homeless fella sitting at the desk?
Can you imagine, right? I walk past, he's sat outside Hearts, right? The little 24-hour shop. He's sat outside there and he goes, "Have you got any change?" And they go, "I can do better than that."
Yeah, here's a chair and table.
It's a futon.
Yeah.
A futon, no less. Not your boring bed, but a trendy, yeah.
Well, but the thing is, amazing the number of people that would stop to look at our junk. There was a car driving by with a family and kids, perfectly respectable, just driving past, on their way to somewhere, stopped, got out, got the kids out of the car. "Come on, kids, let's just look through this junk." But I like the idea.
You said we were going to Alton Towers, Dad.
No, sorry, no time. We're not going to the zoo. Let's look through this rubbish.
We're not going looking through people's rubbish.
Put his gloves on, look through this shit.
Ow! That's a needle.
That's a needle. It was, who does that? It was like a Saturday afternoon. Kids were just going to go and look through some rubbish. And one guy, this is the most incredible one, I caught him going through the bins as I came in. I said, "All right, what are you doing?" He was one of those homeless guys who likes to remain dignified.
Why did you say, "What are you doing"?
Well, because it was my house. I had to go I had to squeeze past him.
He wasn't in your kitchen.
He was in our front garden.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, going through it. He torn the bags open. He was going through it. I said to him, "What are you up to?" He went, "Oh, yeah, just looking at stuff. Don't worry, I'll clean it all up afterwards. Just looking for a few odds and ends, blah, 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 blah." I said, "Oh, well, you can take what you want. It's all going away." "Yeah, thanks very much, thanks." Yeah. So he went off, right? I didn't think anything of it. I was walking past the shops the following day. There's a little sort of, kind of 7-Eleven, right? I was walking past. I thought, "Oh, that's interesting. A Gil Scott Heron album for sale." And I looked, I thought, "Wait a minute, this is all our rubbish." And the guy had set up like a little car boot sale outside the 7-Eleven on the pavement. He'd taken our junk, he'd marked on prices. There's like an old RAC book from 1976 that had been lying in the house, a Yellow Pages, and he'd marked up the
prices.
How much
is Yellow Pages?
So I'm glad you asked.
What year was
50p,
that?
I snapped it up. I thought that's a bargain. And it was incredible, the cheek of just selling our junk outside.
Enterprise, Karl. You did that. What did you used to do? You used to sell flowers.
I sold flowers. I sold fizzy drinks at school.
Did you?
Yeah.
What that you made?
It was Soda Stream, yeah. Made some,
Well, of course, when you were doing your Pilkington making music, your disco, you used to go into mum's bedroom and find a pair of tights and a cigar.
Yeah, they'd be prizes.
Did your dad used to smoke cigars in tights, or your mum? Which one of them used to? Go on.
Right, look, let's.
Yeah, we're educating Ricky.
No. We're teasing that. Rockbusters.
Well, I think we should play a tune and come back with Rockbusters.
Oh, the show's fallen down, and we were going so well, and it's just the energy, isn't it? The first hour we got through.
I'm just in good spirits.
Is this still good? Is it this show?
I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm having a good
it's still
time.
good, is it?
Let me just check just check what Richard Anderson thinks of it.
Good evening, man. Again.
No, he thinks it's appalling. The Dixter thinks it's appalling. So we should play a tune because
What's this?
Bit of Aqualung.
Aqualung.
Rockbusters next.
I like that. That's great, isn't it? Aqualung. Good time's gonna come. Well, Karl, we've got loads of ideas. We've got emails coming left, right and centre. I think you've caused quite a stir. I think you've turned this show around, to be honest. I'm being, honestly. Yeah, no, you've done really well. You're actually acting a bit like a producer, isn't he? And you're coming through in your own right.
Yeah.
We've had a great suggestion.
We've had a great email here. Let me just check. Let me just check. This is from Jeff Dunn. He's a big fan of the show, and he's just had a genius idea. He's saying, "You're moving house, Karl. Why don't Ricky and I come round? We can do a live outside broadcast from your flat. We can observe from your kitchen those weirdos that live opposite.
Yeah.
We can just wander around, just see the kind of place that you've got. Maybe check out your record collection, your clothes, what you got in the bathroom.
It'd be amazing.
Your futon.
It'd be like Louis Theroux, wouldn't it? We'd be Louis Theroux.
Come on, Karl. This is a dynamite idea.
Nah.
Why?
I don't want you coming around making a mess and that.
We won't make a mess.
We'll take our shoes off.
When have I ever made a mess in the studio?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
But do you know what I mean?
We're not going to make a mess. What? We're not going to have anything with us.
But what's in it for anyone?
Well, it's just a fascinating insight into you.
Yeah, but right, when I see that little Chinese kid across the road who's dancing about in his underpants, that's in the evening, right? He's not going to be doing that on a Saturday, so you'll be disappointed there.
Sure.
That old woman.
But you could at least show us the room in which he dances.
Yeah, when you say little Chinese kid, he's a 35-year-old man, isn't he?
Yeah, well.
You don't.
28.
Anyway, that's beside the point. We'll find our own amusement.
No, I don't. And the woman downstairs has got a baby, and if we make loads of noise, and that gets stressed out.
We're not going to make noise, are we? We're just going to have a conversation in your flat. Have a cup of tea.
Yeah, but if we're doing OB, we need to get like a car outside with a big aerial on it, and the parking's bad round our way.
What do you mean you have to do what do you mean?
To do an outside broadcast.
Can't they put in an ISDN line just for the dance?
No, because I'll make a mess of the wall, and I won't get my deposit back. So we'll leave that. Thanks for the idea.
He's going around painting all the little holes to get his deposit back in the wall. He wants to get his deposit back. It's probably cost him about 400 quid redecorating.
Let's remind people, Karl, of the prizes for Rockbusters this week. It's dynamite stuff. We've got the David Attenborough DVD Nature Collection. We've got a number of CDs, the best of David Bowie. We've got a Madness CD, not quite sure whether that's songs from the musical or their original tunes. Country Legends, 2 CDs there of great country music.
Brilliant.
And the Remix to XFM compilation. Plus, of course, the big movie prize this week. Hellraiser. If you haven't seen it already, then I assume you have never seen a film before. Because I don't know if there's anyone who hasn't seen Hellraiser. But obviously you have to be above 18 to join, to play the competition.
So, how long would you want to be around for? Is this just for the
show? A couple of hours.
2 hours. You just get the desk in there. A live OB.
We could check out the futon. We could sing its praises.
Check the fault in, right? Yeah. Oh, you might have sold that by now.
In fact, we could have someone come round and buy it live on air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Think about it.
It's great.
How did Graceland start? That was his normal house, and then he took over. Right, anyway, Rockbusters.
Yeah, go on.
I give a cryptic clue.
Yeah.
And a letter, and it makes up a band.
He never said the word cryptic a few months ago. I love it. Do you know what I mean? I feel it's like our own little Eliza Doolittle.
Yes.
Right, even Richard will like this one. Here we go then. First one. There's 3 of them, and you email in.
If this doesn't turn Dickie round, nothing will.
This is an email-only competition.
Email only. Right, here's the first one. Initial is B, so it's a band starting with B.
Okay.
And the cryptic clue is, I don't like them birds. They shouldn't be allowed in this area.
I don't like them birds. They shouldn't be allowed in this area. Next one.
Right, the next one. He doesn't like women. Yeah, he's got a couple of kids. That's a bit weird.
Is that a cryptic clue, or is that just
a
general point?
Is that
That's the cryptic clue.
Okay.
And the initials there are PD.
Okay.
And the last one. That
I've got that one. That's terrible. That's terrible.
Okay, quickly.
Oh, God.
And the last one is, that bloke who does...
Come on!
It's making me laugh.
Come on, Karl. Be professional.
Right, the last one. Right. I can't do it, it's making me laugh.
Oh, come on, I'll come and read them then.
No, hang on.
Come on, Karl.
Right, here we go.
They don't do this on Blockbusters on TV, do they?
No, come on.
Right. That bloke who does sport on telly. He's got a little kid, right? Initials DC.
What? Is that
I'm
the
completely
clue?
confused by that.
Was that the clue?
Yeah, that bloke who does sport on telly.
Yeah.
He's got a little kid. Initials DC.
Okay, is that a band? Or an artist?
It's well, I'm not going to tell you.
Cheese.
I'm not
This is
gonna
a
tell you.
well-known sandwich. Is it? What is it? Is it a
Fine.
band or an
Right,
artist?
so just quickly recap. That's,
Okay.
it's a
Come
B.
on, Karl.
Right,
Come on.
quick recap. The first one is B. I don't think them birds should be around in this area. Right, that's B. Right. Second one, he doesn't like women, yet he's got a few kids. It's a bit weird. That's PD. And the final one, that bloke who does sport on the telly, he's got a little kid. Right. DC.
All right, and it's ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk if you want to enter for Hellraiser.
Oh, I'll tell you what, continue to do a little theme of like some old stuff people haven't heard of. If you're under 30, you probably never heard of this band. It's also a new thing I'm going to introduce. It's Show Up Camfield. Camfield talks the talk, he doesn't walk the walk. He doesn't play some rock classics on his show because he's scared. I'm going to play the tracks that Camfield's too scared to play. This is Kansas and Carry On Your Wayward Son, alright? Kansas, Carry On Your Wayward Son. Raw Nirvana.
Amazing.
We were just talking, we were getting excited about that,
Yeah,
weren't we?
got an incredible
Brilliant.
voice he has.
And Grohl drumming is brilliant. You know, you're right, the new one from Nirvana. Well, it's time for Educating Ricky Part 2, isn't it? I'm excited, Karl. I'm going to learn so much from this. What's the choices again? What
Right, you've got left.
Still keep phoning your answers to
Email.
Email, sorry, yeah.
The answers to Rockbusters.
Yeah.
Right, okay, Educating Ricky, Part 2.
Right. I'm committed to this treatment.
Yeah.
Is one.
Oh,
of
I've
them.
got to go for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the other one is the police are causing a bit of a stir.
He still says it like it's the best thing he's ever come up with, which in a way it is.
It could be. Right, go on then. I'm committed to this treatment.
Right. Do you know the saying?
Is it just sayings now? Are they all sayings? This
No,
week?
no, they're not.
Okay.
No, the other one isn't. Frog in your throat.
The saying "there's a frog in your throat."
Yeah.
I assume it's when you croak a little bit. You sound like a frog.
No. Right. Might seem a bit weird, this one. Right. But years ago.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, what is that clue? Committed to this treatment?
It's about frogs Kermitted. Kermit.
Probably works better with a K and an ER written down.
Well, also, if you pronounced it "kermitted,"
yeah.
but not committed.
Committed to this treatment! Right, go on then.
That's
Right,
genius.
So yeah.
Well, what?
You go to the doctors and you go with throat hurting a bit.
Right.
And what they did ages ago.
Ages ago. What year was this approximately?
We are going back quite a bit with this one.
Oh, okay. Go on.
And the doctor would say.
Did history. Imagine years ago. Go on.
And the doctor would say, right, keep your mouth open and you need to look at your tonsils. And the jaw would ache a bit because they weren't as quick back then because they didn't have the technology and stuff, and they'd have to like stare at it and study it and stuff. And like they get an achy jaw, right?
Keeping their mouth open.
Yeah, like you get,
Yeah.
you eat a Mars bar or whatever. So they'd sat there and they used to always close their mouth, and it used to annoy the doctor. Right?
Oh.
So what they did, they used to get a toad
Right.
and put it in the mouth.
Rubbish.
Okay. Keep talking. Keep talking.
And that way they couldn't close the mouth because either they'd squash it,
Right.
or apparently you're not allowed to lick a toad's back.
So the doctor would have them for breaking the law?
No, but it's poisonous, right? A toad's back. You should never lick a toad's back.
Or put it in your mouth, really.
Oh, just stop for a second.
Wait. What?
Can I just ask one question?
Go on, yeah,
Just
go
ask
on.
one question.
I've got a few, but
no,
go on.
sure. My initial thought is, it sounds like a brilliant bit of sort of medical knowledge there. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
My only thought is, how does the doctor see past the toad? At your tonsils?
What's he actually looking at with the mouth open? Surely the toad is
Isn't
in
it
the
like
way.
hopping around in the way?
It didn't say.
Sorry, and my first question is, was this on the internet?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Karl, that is bollocks. That is, I mean...
Well, alright then. Let's turn this round. Where does the saying, you got a frog in your throat come from?
Probably because you sound a bit croaky. Probably that. Probably because you sound a little bit like a frog when you've got a sore throat.
Karl, did you not question it just for a moment when you read it? Just for a second, didn't you think that seems an odd approach? Firstly, why a frog of all the different
Because
species?
it's poisonous. A toad.
So a toad, so it's a toad as well.
Yeah, well, it worked. I'm committed. Worked.
No, my point is it's frog in the throat.
I was going to change it to, have you heard the news Toad Day? But I went with the frog.
Oh, God!
Right, so
that's rubbish. So that's rubbish. Next, can I have,
Let's play a tune, let's come up with the
God.
last one. Can I just say... No, just play it.
Yeah?
Yo, Karl.
I have to thank my mate Dave, who sent me an incredible 4-disc compilation. That was one of the tunes on there.
It looks professional. It's amazing.
It's incredible,
The effort
Oh,
is
he's gone to too much
commendable.
effort. Ben Queller, it's a track called In Other Words from his album Shah Shah.
Open wide. Oh dear, that's interesting. Oh, here, doctor. Look, you've actually got a frog in your throat. I didn't get there. I put it in there. That's the most ludicrous story I've ever heard, Karl. Why don't you think when you read these things?
I think there's always going to be a bit of truth in all of these. I mean, that fella called up, didn't he, and said, I'm not sure about the, putting a frog in your throat if you've got, problems with your tonsils or whatever. But he said years ago, if someone had toothache, they'd get hold of a frog and strap it to the face.
Yeah, sure.
So maybe down the line, maybe they did.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't do
I think Caligula made his emperor a horse and emperor as well, but I mean... it doesn't... Go on.
Dick Anderson's been back in touch.
Excellent.
I think so. Obviously,
we turned him round. Well, he loves it now.
He's been tuning in. He says,
loves it now.
He says, Ricky, thanks for a really forgettable 2 hours of radio. I think I'll spend the time next week counting my feet. That's from Richard Anderson. So we've turned him round.
Do you know where the phrase "counting my feet" comes from? Well, in the olden days, right, and I'm talking ages ago, when you really loved something, you used to, as a sign of respect, like say a radio show, you'd count your feet. And that's where that comes from, Karl.
Well, what about the frog thing with a poisonous back?
It's rubbish.
That's true. No, the toads have the secretions in the
Why?
But they didn't put it in people's mouths.
No, so well, I'll tell you why. When a badger or a heron tastes the toad, it's horrible. Ugh. The toad might die, but it's for the good of the species, because then think how many toads looking like that a heron could eat in its lifetime. So the fact that one toad sacrificed itself, all those other toads in that heron's manner will be safe.
Why? I mean, we've talked about animals a lot on the show, right? Yeah. And when God made a toad...
Sure.
Right, okay. Well, I'm going to stop you there. Stop away.
Don't. Just let him carry on.
Right. Okay. There's annoying things out there, jellyfish is a big problem with me. I don't understand what they do in the sea and stuff.
Right.
Right, but we'll leave them.
Got to
we won't,
me, but go on.
We won't talk about jellyfish. No. With the toad, right, if it's to protect itself...
Yeah.
Right, now
it's not to protect itself, it's to protect its species.
No, yeah, but that, surely, right, if the toad had a choice, if God said, right, what I'm going to do for you here, you can have something like a lobster's got claws, big claws to have a fight. Or I can give you something that if someone's having a go at you, you've got to try and persuade them to lick you back as a defence.
Yeah.
What use is, right...
Oh, God's...
Well, I'll tell you why.
What is God
up to? The fact that there are still toads around is a testament to that defence working. That's all I'm going to say, okay? If the toad had died out, you'd have a point. But they're still around. It works, alright?
And don't start slagging God off. He's got a lot on his plate. Basically, I think he took on too much.
Particularly in 1 week.
Exactly, it was crazy.
Danger High Voltage, Electric 6, XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant. Karl's getting all flustered because I put an elastic band around his head. And we've had a definition of...
Well, hang on a second,
because
there's an update to that, Rick.
Go on.
We did just have, one definition here of a frog in the throat. Apparently this has come from some internet site, so who knows how convincing it is, but it says frog in the throat, meaning suffering from temporary hoarseness, needing to clear the throat. Origin from the Old English frogger, meaning hoarseness. That's from Chris. Now that sounds slightly suspect to me.
Why?
But frogger? I mean, it seems odd that it would derive from that when it so clearly appears to be you sound like a frog when you have a sore throat.
Yeah, but the word frog could come from frogger, because it sounds like it's croaking.
Wasn't Frogger a game you could play on the on the Spectrum?
That's a great game.
But listen, hang on, there's an update to that, because just to
common frog, of course, Rana temporara, that's the Latin name. Well, your toad is Buffo Buffo. Right.
You may be trying to show off, but I think you're about to embarrass yourself as well, because you've been slagging off young Karl. Yeah. It says here, another email, it doesn't tell us who it's from. Although it's hard to believe now, at one time, medieval physicians believed that the secretions of a frog could cure a cough if they were coated on the throat of the patient. Yeah. That in itself sounds repulsive, but what makes the idea even worse is the application of the secretions. Instead of painting the treatment on, something which may also have seemed rational, a live frog was placed into the mouth of the sufferer, where it remained until the physician decided that the treatment was complete.
Right.
Apparently Shakespeare's son-in-law, that's a question mark, I don't know what that means. Anyway, it's no wonder that today a froggy or croaky attempt at speech is said to be a frog in your throat. So, you can see that what's happened there is Karl's misread or been slightly misinformed about a medieval practice. In a sense, you're both winners, just for taking part. What's your final one, Karl?
The final story is, the police are causing a bit of a stir.
I can't wait.
It's about this fella, I think it's in England somewhere.
Yeah.
Don't know when it happened, but
literally ages ago, or
basically, well, it's when they were trying to crack down on like drunken people walking about in the street.
Oh yeah.
And they found this
Saturday that one.
And found this fella, and all the local people were saying, "Oh, look at him wandering around. He's drunk and what have you." That's not right. Get the police in. He got arrested and that, and they got him in the court. And the judge was there, and he says, "So you know, what's all this? What's going on? What are you doing wandering about when you've had a drink? You know the rules. You shouldn't be doing that. You had a glazed expression on your face. Blah, blah, blah. What do you have to say for yourself?" He only had a glass eye.
So he had two glass eyes?
No, he had one. But that was, they were about to sort of lock him up.
Was he a bit pissed up as well?
Well, he was pretty livid.
Or was he also drunk with a glass eye?
No, that's the weird thing. He wasn't even, he hadn't even had a drink.
So they just thought, because he had a weird stare.
Because his eyes were all glazed.
Yeah. Where'd you get this from? Why are you telling me this? Yeah, but why are you telling me this? I mean, thank you, because it's, you know, killed a couple of minutes, but why is this educating me? What are you telling me here?
Because there's a bit of a thing there, a bit of a fable, that don't always judge a book by its cover. Yeah? So, the guy, he hadn't even had a drink. He'd probably just been shopping.
Yeah.
Walking down the street, and everyone's like getting involved. Like, what's he doing?
Hang on, I don't understand. He's walking down the street, happens to have a glass eye. He was doing nothing else to suggest he was drunk. You don't pick people up just because their eye looks like that.
But even if it happened, why are you telling me? With no particular detail. I know this, that we're going to get
It's not enough information.
I know, yeah.
No, there's a bit of a lesson there, educating Ricky. Just watch what you say. Don't always jump to conclusions.
The only education I can take from that is that if I ever do become a policeman, I shouldn't just arrest people because they look a bit drunk. I should just tap their eye with a pen. And goes, oh, okay, on you go.
Well,
on you go, yeah.
Guys, can I just stop you there? I'm just going to email Richard Anderson and tell him I agree.
Right, listen, we're running out of time and that.
Where does the phrase frog in the throat come from?
We've got it here. He's been told us. Can we play a tune and come out with that? Have we got anything lined up?
Yeah, we've got the song with a story in it.
Come on, Karl, let's do something. Quick, play a record.
Song with a story in it.
But never mind that, they're listening. We discussed this off air, come on. Play a record.
Right,
it's
Kings.
It's a song with a good story in it. You've got to listen to the words.
What was that? That was your little song with a story.
That's another little feature that we do every Saturday.
So make sure you tune in.
It's a song that's got a good story in it. There's a lot of music about these days.
What's that story about then? What's that story about?
You don't know what they're going on about. Whereas that classic from the Kinks called Lola.
Yeah, what's it about?
I'd listened to it for the first time properly this morning.
Yeah.
And what I've worked out from it is a fella who goes out for a normal Saturday night out. He's in Soho.
Yeah.
He's having a Coca-Cola or whatever, And he sees this woman, he thinks, yeah, she's alright. Won't mind a bit of that. So he wanders over, and he sort of gets talking to her. He looks at her, she's got a great figure, nice face and all that.
Lovely knob.
And she speaks, and he goes, oh God, got a bit of a bloke's voice. Got a bit of a voice like a bloke. But he thought, that's her only down point.
Sure.
So he dances around with her, and I think he sits on his knee, I think he said.
Yeah.
Anyway, it turns out it's a fella.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
a sobering lesson.
Yeah.
What do you take from that?
Look, always sort of, if you think you might be talking to a
bloke in
who's
drag.
just look at his sort of Adam's apple. And he'll probably have a hairier arse than a woman.
Yeah, I think you've gone too far away then, though. I think you're already getting too close.
It's a bit late to pull out.
No pun intended. Definitely.
There was a pun intended.
Oh, was it? All right, was it?
Yes.
All right. Okay, we don't be disgusting then. Right. Okay. Right. The results of
We ain't got a winner for the first time.
Yes, we have. We've got
done this
loads.
feature for.
We've got loads of winners.
No, we haven't. We've done this feature for 3 weeks. This is the first time I've managed to sort of.
What?
Well, let's go through them then.
What have they got wrong?
The first one.
The first one.
What was
The first one.
There's loads-
The first
well,
one.
Well, hang on. Let's do them in reverse order for a second. So what's the last one?
The last one. The clue was that bloke does sport on the telly, and he's got a little kid.
What's that?
That's Destiny's Child. Des, who does ITV Sport,
that's
has got
terrible,
a Tiny's
man.
Child, right? No,
terrible.
that's fine.
Yeah,
They got that.
okay,
Destiny's Child.
Des-
What's the one?
Des
What's
Tiny's
the
Child.
middle one?
Right, the middle one, right?
Child.
The second one was he doesn't like women. Yeah, he's got a couple of kids. That's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Right. That was PD. That was Puff Daddy.
That is offensive. Go on.
But it's not Puff Daddy. It's Puff Daddy. And he's not even called that anymore. He's called P. Diddy.
Well,
Okay, fair enough.
but they got that one.
Yeah.
And if I'm being tight, these lot are as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tight means something in Manchester. Go on.
Right. And the first one that they're having problems with, I don't think them birds should be allowed in this
They've
area.
got it. Boyzone.
It's not Boyzone.
What's the clue again?
I don't think them birds should be allowed in this area.
That is perfect. A boy zone. No birds.
No women.
No women, yeah, birds, right? A boy zone. Sorry, Karl. If that isn't the answer, their clue is better than yours. That is brilliant. What was yours? Boy zone. It works perfectly.
What's your answer then?
Bangles.
I have no idea what that means.
Like seagulls. So you don't want them in this area, so you're banning them. Bangles.
Oh! Well, give it to boy zone, because boy zone's better. Don't use birds being allowed in this area, it's a boy
I think
zone.
we should have a rollover. Carl beat them. Carl beat them. You have to use his logic,
But
surely.
theirs works. You can't do what am I thinking. No, that's not what I'm thinking. It perfectly. It works perfectly. I think you've got to give it to the ones that got the boy zone.
Well, how about, right, because they didn't actually get into my head and my
Well,
way of thinking,
heaven
right?
forbid.
How about we just keep back the David Attenborough, and they can have, I'll chuck in the Hellraiser, right?
Okay.
and Blondie album and the Madness
Yeah,
one.
okay. Pick a winner at random.
Pick a winner, Steve.
I'm going to give it to Paul Sloman, who got those answers, and he also says, P.S. Carl, you're a moron. So, I'm giving that to Paul, and good luck to him.
Right, well,
He's got a crazy night tonight. If we can rush these over to him, he's got a cracking Saturday night.
well, if I'm a moron, I might get your address wrong when I send them to you.
Oh,
Coming right back at you, Paul.
Yes. Right, John, play your song.
Is this it? We're
Oh,
almost
Carl's
done?
annoyed because
Wow,
they didn't
he's
get
wild.
banned goals.
A song for the ladies. I think we seem to have missed this a lot of weeks, but this is, I've been wanting to play this
It's
for
not like
ages.
us to forget things.
This is a band, Frente, who kind of came and went and no one
yeah.
was particularly interested, but they did do this lovely acoustic version of the New Order tune, Bizarre Love Triangle,
right.
and this just shows you how incredible the melodies and the words and everything are.
Brilliant, I'm a fan.
New Order, just play this.
Good night.
Song for the
Bye-bye.
ladies. Is this it in the week?
Do you reckon Richard Anderson will be back next week?
Yeah, Richard Anderson will not miss this show.
Excellent.
Oh, one need very hot chilies there.
Oh, yeah, indeed.
The Zephyr song, Red Hot Chili Peppers on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Stephen Merchant. And
Hello
of course, over there, little Karl Pilkington.
Indeed.
See the write-up in Heat this week?
No, is it good stuff?
Basically Karl's show.
Yes.
Which is fair enough.
No, I mean, he's the only one doing any work.
I know.
He's the only one contributing.
We thought no one had noticed, but Heat were on it straight away.
Yeah.
They picked out. I read it to him over the phone. It said 2 hours of black music and everything like. Karl Pilkington, he does Educating Ricky, where a strand where he educates Ricky, and Rockbusters, which is loosely based on Blockbusters. It says you know basically you'll be tuning in for that. And I read that to Karl, and he went, oh. And I was going to drop it.
You weren't, were you, Karl?
So he believed the hype. He believed the hype.
Yeah, I think you've got to. I mean, it's like
You've got to mix it up, is what you're saying. Keep it
A lot of
fresh.
people are saying to you at the moment, "Are you going to do another series of The Office?" It's kind of like that. I've got to decide whether it's right to move on with it or do something different.
Is it dead in the water? Yeah. So what's your decision? I mean, maybe are you?
We'll probably keep it for this week.
Sure.
And see how it goes.
Okay. You've got anything else on the back burner? Any other ideas?
Nothing.
You
I'm still sort of. Do you know I came up with a load of game?
Well, I remember there was one that was based on fast food.
There was, the Rice is Right.
The Rice is Right. Now, just run the rules past me again. We had to identify whether it was a Chinese meal,
rice or steamed rice. Well,
Either
basically, it was a Chinese restaurant or an Indian restaurant.
But is it true that you played this at home with your girlfriend and it was clear you could always tell which was which? Because one had an Indian sounding name and the other was Chinese sounding.
No, I managed to, it did work once. I managed to pick some sort of duck dish that sounded a bit Indian.
Right.
But then it
wasn't Bombay duck, was it? Which is actually a piece of fish. You don't know. You don't know. He wouldn't let me put, that whipped cream in the fridge.
I saw that. I thought that's fun.
Yeah, he wouldn't let me put it on. He was shaming phone.
Oh,
yeah, but every week we have this. Do you know the other week, Steve? I didn't tell you this, right? He comes in straight away. I'm trying to talk about sorting the show out. What we're going to do? How we're going to keep it good for 2 hours and that. Grabs a pen. He says, "Let me draw 666 on your head."
Because you can see the scalp.
Carl, seriously. I said, don't do that. He goes, all right, then how about we meet halfway, put 333. Every week it's the same thing.
But I quite like the cream. Did you get any cream on him at all?
No.
Is it the spray cream in a chicken?
Yeah, he said no.
Carl, could I just make some, just spray on some glasses? Just some round glasses on your face.
Father Christmas!
Hello.
It's nearly Christmas, hello!
Come on, it is Ricky Gervais' show.
Yeah, should we play a record and then come back to this mayhem?
This crazy mayhem.
Yeah. Coldplay, The Scientist. Have you seen the video of that?
Great, it's just brilliant.
I think I might have worked out. What is, he's walking backwards, it's all filmed backwards, but he's singing forward. Now, the only way I can work out they've done it, without CGI in it and cheating with the lips, is that he had to learn it backwards and did it sort of like bit by bit. Did he do that?
He was on Zoe's show like about a week ago or something, and
so
he sang it backwards.
So he learned phrases and they filmed that.
Yeah.
But he didn't learn the whole song, did he? He couldn't possibly have learned the whole song. He must have stopped it and...
Don't know.
It's a great video though. They always do a good video.
No, it's very good indeed.
So it was, The Scientist on XFM. Wonderful one. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington.
I had a bit of good news this morning.
Go on.
I was on the tube coming down, and I don't want to sound arrogant, I don't want to sound pushy, but I was at Green Park, and I'm fairly certain, Rick, it's not 100% corroborated, I'm fairly certain that a woman pinched my arse. So what do you think of that? Yes.
There's a lot of pickpockets around Green Park.
No. My wallet was still there.
Really?
But even if it wasn't, that would have been money well spent. But the wallet was still there. So what do you think of them apples? Eh?
So what did you just pinch off?
I can't confirm it at this stage, exactly what happened, but it certainly felt like a pinch. I looked round, there was a woman behind me.
Right.
She was fairly old. I think she's probably in her mid-30s.
Right.
Kind of reddish hair.
Right.
I don't know if she's listening.
Right.
But she knows where I am. And so I don't know how to proceed, really, Rick. I don't know if it's worth putting up some posters around the Green Park area.
Well, what you could
just to try and corroborate it. If you saw a woman pinch the lanky guy's arse...
No, you could probably get in... contact with British Rail and go back over their CCTV
CCTV cameras, yeah.
And then they could probably zoom in and, so identifying birthmarks or she might have been holding some...
Then I could hire a private eye. Yeah. Again, money well spent.
Well, so there you go.
I'm just saying maybe maybe things are looking up.
Things
it's getting towards Christmas.
The worm has turned.
I mean, it's a little going sexy to get the show going.
It is
but what do you make of that then, Karl?
What do you think
you're quite damning. What's your answer?
Well, I mean, you're quite a tall fella.
Sure.
So she must have really wanted to sort of reach up and have a pinch. Do you know
Well,
what
you
I
think
mean?
She was a dwarf?
she did it with her teeth?
He didn't say she was a dwarf.
No, but Steve's taller than, his arse.
Yeah, but his arse isn't 6'9", is it? His arse is about 3 foot off the floor.
4 foot?
What?
4 foot off the floor?
No, I don't think so. About 3. She'd have to be a midget to have to reach up to pinch Steve's arse. He is very tall, but
I don't know what your point is there, Carl. You're just trying to, you're just,
No,
I think
no,
maybe just a little bit jealous. Just a little bit of jealousy.
Well, do you know what happened to me on the way in?
go on.
A homeless person called me a dickhead.
How did he know? Do you know him? Is that why?
He's like the local big issue fella.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he knows me. He sees me walking up and down the street.
Oh, that's how he knew you.
Right. So normally I have a bit of a chat with him and that. And I walk past him. And, I can be a little bit cheeky with him because I've been cheeky with him in the past with stuff.
You pinched his arse.
No, just, saying stuff like, God, you're always there. I mean, you got home to go to and stuff like that.
Yeah,
No,
just breaking the ice. Go on.
He knows, and he'd laughed at that, right, last time, so I thought I can be a bit cheeky, right? So he goes, do you want a big issue? I said, no. He said, come on, I've got loads of them, right? So I sort of said, when I was a kid, and I used to do a free paper around the free papers one, I said, just put them in the bin and go home, right? And he went, yeah, but how am I going to get any money doing that, you dickhead?
You see, I can see his point. He is homeless and having to sell newspapers to get 50p or a quid or whatever.
Yeah, and sometimes I treat him, right? And today I didn't have any money. I had a takeaway last night and I normally give them a quid. And I felt bad not being able to do that because I didn't have any money on me last night.
Right.
I couldn't look him in the eye.
Did you explain this to the homeless person, the traumas of the takeaway without the tip? Did you explain that, you've had it hard as well? I go, look, you don't
I had food delivered to my warm flat.
Yeah,
it was a nightmare.
You don't know what that's like. You don't know what the trauma is because you can't have food delivered to your flat because you haven't got one. So please don't look at me like that. You should have said.
But most people ignore him. At least I gave him a bit of acknowledgement and sort of...
took the mic.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was just was being friendly.
No, I know.
You got to be careful with the homeless because this is true, and this is when the clocks went back recently, so you got an extra hour in bed.
Yeah.
And I was at Cash Point with a friend of mine, and there was a homeless person sat by the Cash Point, and we would get some money out, and she said spare some change, and my friend said, he's a bit awkward, he's just trying to make conversation with her. He went, clocks go back, extra hour in bed.
Oh no.
I gave her 2 quid. I felt so bad. He didn't do it intentionally. He didn't realise what he'd said. Making conversation.
Bumbling.
It's tricky making conversation with the homeless because there's so many areas you've got to avoid. What was on the telly.
Yeah. Although I get recognised by homeless people and think, I don't know where...
Well, you've got to remember that's very much your demographic, Rick.
Yeah.
People who watch TV through the window in Dixon's.
In Dixon's, yeah. They always... Ricky Gervais on.
Yeah.
Pop the telly on.
They can smell the alcohol on you. They think you're one of them.
I've had to cut down on that. I've been really good with this training thing.
The boxing.
Play a record and I'll tell you about it. I had my first week of training. I'm in trouble. I'm struggling.
What do you want to play?
Oh, we've got a bit of, have we? Stone Roses, classic.
Feeder, Come Back Around, XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Alright? Yeah, so I had my first week of training for this charity boxing. For those people who don't know, I'm fighting Grant Bovey, Anthea Turner's husband. It sounds arbitrary, but it's actually because he's 41 and about my weight, a bit taller, I think. But and we've never done it before. But no, it'd be fun battling someone for charity.
Yes.
It's and I can't believe my luck because I've been a fight fan for like 30 years and they took me shopping, they bought me all the gear, and the training's great. It's really hard. I mean, I imagine it'd be really hard, and it's probably slightly harder than I imagined. And the only bit I like, so I don't like all the exercise and all the stuff you've got to do. I like the bits that look a bit like something I've seen in a Rocky film.
Right, sure.
We did that thing with the string along the ring and I have to pop up and punch, and that was great.
Right, nice.
Skipping's not bad. I'm trying to get good at that. I like that ball that you go.
Are you any good at that?
I'm getting good at it.
And what's that teaching you, that particular thing? It's just the rhythm, is it?
It's rhythm, and of course your arms are up for that long, so you've got to keep your guard up all the time.
Yeah.
So that teaches you to keep
And
your
you
arms
were
up.
up at 6 this morning. You broke some raw eggs into a cup, and then you ran up the steps of the town hall, didn't you? I know.
With loads of people following me, and I shouted "Bovey" at the top. No, I'm not going mad. Just once every other day. But I'm struggling now. I woke up today and it's like I'd been hit by a car.
Yeah. Just
everything aches, so the muscles you haven't used. But anyway, I had a meeting the first time with the people, the program makers, because they're following me for a month and everything, and Grant as well. And they said, you need a sort of nickname just for a laugh. And I went, what's Grant using? He said, I think he's going to use Gorgeous Grant Bovey or Grant. I went, I don't know, so I better go against that. What about Ricky Jippo Gervais?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so anyway, I had a freaking with Frank Maloney meeting the next day, and it's sort of like, you've got to do this nickname. And the bloke said, I checked out that name, you can't call yourself Jippo. I went, well, of course I can't. I was joking. He went, well, I said, well, it's racist. I was joking. I was making a joke about me, and he went, I don't know. And then I went down to get the, buy all the gear from this shop.
They'd have the dressing gown made?
Yeah. And I was picking all the stuff. I was going, look, that's like Naz wore. Oh, look, that's like Ali wore and I'm going, I'll have that, picking all the gear and everything. And, there was a couple of boxers down there sort of like looking at me thinking, who's that fat bloke taking up boxing at 40? And, I said who I was, and bloke went, oh yeah, how you doing? I went, oh yeah, so how long have you been in the game? He said, I've been boxing 20 years. So how many fights you had? He said, about 40. I said, oh yeah, help me, I've got to think of a nickname. And I thought Ricky Balboa Gervais. He went, right. I went, or Ricky Marciano Gervais. He looked at me and went, what about Ricky Martin? Oh dear!
Absolutely justified.
Yeah, I'm not respected yet in the boxing world.
No, sure.
But I mean,
it's only a matter of time. Once they see you fight, Rick, everything's going to change. So have you actually punched anyone yet? Have you actually?
No, I haven't punched. I've punched pads and I've punched the bag and I've sort of sparred and that.
I know you're going to get a chance to punch.
Well, as I suspected, my punching power's all right, but my fitness is. I mean, it felt like I was smoking.
Yeah.
But there's bits of lung that haven't had oxygen in them for 20 years.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. And also because it's not only it's being filmed, but there's other fighters there that are ridiculous. They're like machines, right? And it's that thing I can go, right, I can come out on top, but die now of a heart attack, but never give up. Or I can sit down and go, I'm sorry, I feel ill. And I chose that one, and of course they took the mick.
Well, of course.
But I mean, soon, as I said, I haven't got the respect yet of the boxing fraternity, but
how long have you got then before?
4 weeks.
Okay, so, and do they think that they can turn you around health-wise in that time?
No, they're being realistic. No, they're going to teach me the basics and see how it goes, Right. But I mean, and
each round is 4 seconds, is that right?
Yeah, 2 4-second rounds.
With a 2-hour break in between each one. Sit-down meal.
So, give them a number. I want serious suggestions of my fighting name. Nothing insulting, so we can actually use.
Well, let's give out the email. That's always the easiest. Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk. What's the number, Karl?
08700 800 1234.
And it doesn't have to be in the middle, it could be at the beginning, like The Rage.
Okay.
Ricky the Rage.
Ricky the Tits. Yeah, sure.
Ricky the Man Player Record. Big
it was a good day, Ice Cube talks to me about my life in the pub.
Yeah.
A couple of emails are already coming in, they're flooding in, Rick, inevitably, as boxing name suggestions for you. This is one from Matt, I think. He's given a couple, actually. Ricky the Pudding Gervais. Ricky Big Mac Gervais. There's a theme here, Ricky Pasty Gervais. The pasty. I quite like the pasty. Here comes the pasty.
As Karl said, the thing is, if you have a really good nickname, it's embarrassing when you lose, whereas if you just call yourself, it's not so embarrassing when you lose. Karl, this is doing no good for my ego.
Do you know what I mean? If you have, like, Killer Gervais.
Yeah, and then you end up, like, vomiting, choking on your own vomit, upside down, hanging out the ring.
What happens if you win? Do you have to do something
Whereas
properly?
there goes the pasty being stretchered off in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not such a problem.
There he is, being lightly basted. And chucked down a mine. What do you mean, what do I have to do?
Say if you beat Grant, say if that happened.
Yeah.
What happens next?
What do you mean, what happens next? What? Do you think, this is a contention fight for the big one?
But do they...
Well, then we make Ricky 2.
No, but, do you know if they're planning on making more money? Because it's for comic relief, isn't it? So what happens on the night?
No, it's for a charity of our
Comic
choice.
relief would make sense.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
whatever, right?
yeah. It was last time. I think that was last time.
Is it sport relief? It's not sport.
It was
relief.
last time,
right.
yeah. But this is. I think this is a program where
And how do we? Sorry, how do you make money for charity from this? Do we pay to sort of for how many punches to the head you're going to take? Or
No. I just
how
think
long you're going to last?
I assume the BBC donate money or someone or a sponsor or whatever. I don't know. Just
Right.
donate money because it's actually a program. This is more about a program with a a charity angle. So yeah.
So as if you get like killed, there's more money and food to go around. Maybe. But no, I mean the thing is, what's the next step? Because if they go like, right, yeah, well done, you've won. Thank you very much.
Well, Carl, what do you expect? That it's winner stays on?
Yeah.
Like in a fair where I go out there and I let people punch me.
on Bernard Manning.
Yeah. And then my twin gets up.
Yeah.
It's just it's a program.
He's
it's
not
like,
going to turn pro.
It's like faking it.
Yeah, but what's the point if it's not going to go anywhere?
Well, look,
Sorry, him fighting Grant Bovey in a ring is not entertainment enough.
yeah, what's the matter with you, Carl?
That's going to get his face pummeled in. That's going to be hilarious.
Right, when I did boxing at the youth club.
Once, when he did boxing, he fought a little weak kid, because it was his first day, battered him. Next week, it was someone else's turn, and he got battered and he left.
Yeah, I said, right, I've had enough. But there was
Yeah.
there was a ladder there that I had to work, right? And I decided after the sort of the first step, I thought, it's not for me, this.
Yeah.
But if you win, it's all kind of like, right, well...
Yeah, the world's
There you
your
go.
oyster.
But it's a program. It's just a one-off program, isn't it? It is like you got to treat it like faking it.
Yeah, but faking it, right? That little gay fella who ended up being a doorman, he's actually doing that as a proper job now or something. He loved it so much.
Do you seriously think I have any intentions of getting into the fight game and leaving entertainment
Well,
behind?
what's the point then?
What do you mean? What's the point in watching television? It's entertainment.
Or educational. I watch it to sort of soak in
Well,
information.
this is educational. I'm learning a lot. I'm actually learning a lot, and I can't believe my luck. I've got professionals telling me, hopefully how to lose weight and punch hard. That's just fun. It's like having golf lessons.
Right, but say, I mean, here's an example.
Go on.
It's a nice way to plug it. We've got Rockbusters coming up in about 10 minutes or something, right? Now,
Look forward to that.
people email in, and they don't just do it for fun. They do it because they know they've got some good prizes lined up.
Right.
So they're doing it because it gets them something.
Yeah, my prize is that I've learned something in life. I've gone through an experience, and hopefully I'll come out in some way better if I don't get mashed. That's it. That's the prize. That's why we do anything, isn't it?
I think this is an example of you, Carl, is you give up too easy.
Yeah, and
you gave that up straight
You think
away.
there's no point in anything?
I did Crusaders I think I lasted that out for about 4 weeks.
What's
that?
Crusaders?
Well, he was my mate, right? He was religious.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not really. But
No, I mean, you believe in ghosts, though, and shadows pushing people off bikes. But go on.
it's the same time. I think I told you once before that I went to the church with this lad because
Right.
I swore, and he said he was going to tell me dad.
Yeah.
I was effing and jeffing. So he said, if you're going
Is that how they get people to church nowadays?
I love that little kid that, he hasn't got the idea of the protection game. There's nothing in it for him. Either you turn to religion or I tell your father.
Right, so I went to church with him and that, and then the next week he said, I know that was rubbish and you didn't enjoy it. It's when I got kicked out for messing with a tennis ball in the pews, right?
I don't think we've heard that, but I don't think we could possibly go into that now.
Summed it up.
Yeah.
So,
Well, no.
No, come on.
that's
We'll
it.
come back to that. You had a
Okay.
tennis
That's the
ball and
story.
some pubes.
No, in the pews.
In the pews, right.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I went there and I said, I don't think much of this church thing, it's a bit boring.
Sorry, and so you went to church and you ended up in the Crusades.
No,
What's
it's
the
called
crusade?
Crusaders. What it is, it's meant to be the fun part of religion for kids.
Uh-huh.
Right.
And my mate said, you want to come along? It's, you go on a Friday night
Yeah.
and do it on a Sunday as well. Right, so I went on the Friday night. It was brilliant. They had Sabutio, played table tennis in this dead big old house.
And what do they do at the end? Say, I hope you enjoy yourself. Remember, God gave you all this.
Well, it's sort of, enjoy the simple things in life. You don't need computer games. You can play table tennis and talk with your friends.
Yeah.
And blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, that's all right.
I think you'd be happy in a young offenders institution. You get to clean the toilets there
But
as
don't
well.
forget, Carl, I think God invented Nintendo too.
Right. Well, anyway, so that was all right. I loved it on the Friday.
Yeah.
And my mate said if you go for 4 weeks in a row without missing a day, you get a free badge. And I was
And
like,
salvation.
I don't like all this sort of being stuck in stuff. Do you know what I mean? That's what I did
don't
about
get
school.
tied down.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, every day. Right. So, anyway, so you've got to come again on Sunday. So I thought, well, we'll have another game of table tennis. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
So anyway, I go on the Sunday.
Who was this servant of God?
Right. I go on the Sunday. It's like a totally different club. There's no table tennis.
That's how they trick you.
No Sabutio.
Yeah.
They start handing out Bibles.
Oh.
And
It's
I-
like a
I was
timeshare
like, hang
thing.
on a minute, right?
They trick you.
So I didn't go again on Sundays. I used to just go on the Friday.
Just go on the Friday. Brilliant. Brilliant. I'm amazed no one else saw through that.
Well, the thing is, there used to be loads there on the Friday, so I
bet there
thought they won't even notice that I'm not, like,
Yeah,
do you know
sure.
what I mean? That I'm not showing up on a Sunday. So anyway, carried on. It was
Just
brilliant.
this kid in the vicar?
Oh, I love that. You got one over on the church.
So I was loving it, right? Playing table tennis and that.
Yeah,
and then on a Sunday, they found out where I live, and the head fella started coming round, knocking on the door.
God.
He's everywhere, Rick.
Why did he knock?
The fella,
Politeness.
the fella who like ran the club, he started coming round, knocking on the door. And I saw him coming up the path, and I said to my mum, "Oh, it's the fella from the Crusaders."
Yeah.
She didn't even know what I was.
No.
She
She
was
thought
like,
you were
"What
off
are
nicking
talking
hubcaps
about?"
and stealing cars.
She didn't have a clue what I was talking about.
You've been going to church.
to church, I don't
You
believe it.
little bleeder.
That's not how we brought you up.
So I said, "Look, just tell him I'm not in. Tell him I'm not in." And then she had to keep doing this, and they were coming round every Sunday to try and make me like go on a Sunday. It was really important that I went and that I was abusing the system and all this. Anyway, I didn't go. And then
Why didn't they just tell you on next time we turned up on a Friday?
Yeah.
No, well, because there was so many people there on a Friday, you just get mixed in the crowd.
Yeah.
It was jammed. It was well popular on a Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But anyway, on one of the Sundays, it was quiet for a bit, and they stopped coming round. So I thought, right, I can go out again, right, on a Sunday, because I used to avoid hanging around the house.
What sort of reign of terror is this?
Incredible.
So I thought,
It's like
right.
the Spanish Inquisition.
So I thought, great, they forgot about me.
Yeah.
Everything, I can carry on in sort of normal life now.
Yeah.
And I was playing out in the avenue. Fella comes round.
Oh.
And he goes, there you are. You know, you're always busy on a Sunday. You enjoy Fridays and that, don't you? I was like, yeah. He goes, well, come on, you've got to come with me. And I couldn't get out of it. No. You know what I mean? It's like, what could I say?
Charlie says.
Right?
Yeah.
So, anyway, he nearly killed me in a car crash. So that was the excuse I used next time. He had a Mini, right? And he was driving us there, and he hit the curb, nearly sort of turned over the Mini. Right? There was like 3 of us in the back. So I said...
Is that a record?
So next time,
Or was it a joke?
Next time he came round to pick us up, I said, look, really enjoyed it and that. I said, but ever since that journey, I really, you know, I don't want to get in the car with you again because it scared me a bit. And I said, all right then, I didn't have to go again.
That's all right, isn't it?
That's extraordinary.
Yeah.
He almost killed you in a car
It's a
crash.
parable. Thank God no one was hurt.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Your life moves in incredible ways.
Yeah.
Rather like God.
Yeah. So,
So there you go.
they're probably round there now, aren't they? Going, is he coming tomorrow? What we got?
Well, we're talking about the prizes next.
Well, let's talk about the prizes. We've got the big game Rockbusters coming your way soon, Rick. I know you're excited about that. And is there more educating Ricky this week? Have you got that planned?
There is. We are struggling on that feature a bit now because I feel like we've covered a lot of topics.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know about hairy Chinese kids and deaf people that hit their head and can hear again. So I don't think there's lots more to learn in life. Hives, hate to say I told you so. On XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais will be Stephen Merchant and the amazing Karl Pilkington. Right, prizes.
Yes.
List them.
Rockbusters.
Yeah.
It's one of the big exciting quiz shows, and this may be one of your last chances to play. There's rumours that it's going to get ditched, Rick. Rumours that Karl Pilkington, the creator and mastermind behind it, has already grown tired of it. It's often the way. You heard them earlier on, the very best of the Stone Roses. From that we played I Want to Be Adored. That's one of the prizes. That's a nice little Christmas compilation.
Second hand now then, really, isn't it?
Second hand, yeah. 50 years of the greatest hit singles. I'll tell you there's some great stuff on here.
Oh, go on.
Opens, Rick, with Bohemian Rhapsody.
One of the biggest number ones of all time.
If you've not heard that enough already. You're followed then by John Lennon's Imagine, Candle in the Wind, Elton John. You've got
all on
sorts
one CD, Stephen.
Well, I think
These are some of the greatest rock minds.
They've chosen some of the best songs by some of the best artists.
Go on.
Paul McCartney's Mull of Kintyre. That's on there. We've got, let me see.
That is pretty impressive though, because they are real big classic number ones, as opposed to, you know, the song by the artist they didn't really care about. You see those things on this is not available in the shops, and it's, you know, the second best song artists have done.
It seems odd that we're giving it away on XFM because it includes Robbie Williams' Angels, Atomic Kitten's Whole Again, Spice Girls Wannabe, Kylie Minogue's Can't Get You Out of the Head, and I think it closes, well, it almost closes with Steps Tragedy. That's the penultimate track. It ends though, any ideas? It's a big hit single. But do they know it's Christmas, Band-Aid? Perfect for your Christmas party.
Sure.
We've also got the Groove Armada current album, is that from them?
Yeah.
And signed by the man himself, the Big Beach Boutique DVD, Fatboy Slim's concert on that Brighton beach. And there's all kinds of treats on there. And includes an audio commentary by Norman Cook. I don't know how that works. 3 hours of him going, this is where the needle almost jumps. Watch us for this. I did a little bit of scratching. I'm not very good at scratching, but just look forward to that.
I'm putting a different track. You'll see me there. Yeah. There's the crowd loving it.
Here's me. I'm just waiting for, this is where I go from Conga Squad to Basement Jacks.
Yeah.
Look forward to that.
That's one of mine. I'll pop on what you see there. I've got Praise You ready on it.
I just got that was slightly dusty. I just had to wipe that down with a damp rag.
Yeah.
So we look forward to that. Plus, I suppose this is good if you're a fan. This is a box set of the first series of Linda Green. I think a new series starts this week or has already started. I'll tell you what I found while I was clearing up, Rick, because I know it's not a big movie this week. We normally give away a big movie. I was moving house this week and I found a video that you're more than welcome to if you're a fan. No, it stars Kurt Russell. Executive Decision. I've got that to give away if you're interested. Executive Decision with Steven Seagal in a cameo as well. So I think it's on TV this week, Rick. So if you miss it this coming Friday, you don't tape it this Friday.
Well,
here it is on video.
Bring it in, because I think Karl's excited about that. I think Karl would like to win that, wouldn't you?
Great prizes there.
How about if you come up with an extra Rockbusters today for the bonus prize?
I don't think I'm the man for the job, Karl. I think it has to come from your unique take on the world.
Karl, I don't think you've quite worked out why you're funny and why things you do are good. Go on then.
Right, you ready then? So, just in case you haven't heard it before, I'll give you some initials of a band or an artist.
We're not doing Rockbusters now, are we?
Yeah, I thought, well, we've just...
we could keep that going. Then we got... Well, I love educating Ricky. That's my favourite thing now.
Well, what do you want to do, Steve? I mean,
let's do the clues.
It's just like it's sort of bigged up the prizes.
And so this is only by email. Give the email address out now for people to write it down now, Karl.
Right, it's ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Only entries on email.
Yeah.
You're going to get 3 clues. You've got to get them all right.
And you win all the stuff.
You win all those prizes you said. Okay, Karl, go on then.
Right, and just a quick example, one of the first ones we did, it was like AK, and the clue was Exploding Pet, and it was Atomic Kitten, right? Yeah. So you understand how it works now. These are your clues. The first one, that army has got some nice trenches.
That army has got some nice trenches. Excellent.
Yeah. And the initials there are DW.
Do you write some of the questions for 15 to 1?
Go on.
So that army has got some
similar phrasing.
Trenches. Okay.
Okay.
The second one.
What were the initials there, Karl, on that person?
DW.
DW.
Yeah. Right. The second one. The top of them curtains are all wrecked. All the materials all worn.
He acts it out though. We've got to get him on telly. We have got to get him on telly because his little face and his gestures.
That's the second one. The initials being HV. Okay. The top of those curtains are wrecked. All the materials all worn out. Right. HV. And the final one, here's the final clue. I was in Texas the other week, right? I tripped and landed on my knees in a puddle.
What's the
initials? WH for that one. So I was in Texas, I tripped up, landed on my knees in a puddle. So that's WH.
Incredible.
You've got it!
Is it great?
It's fantastic! It's desperate.
Okay, time during the record, Do you remember you're playing for these compilation albums? We got the Fatboy Slim DVD, Linda Green on VHS, and of course, Executive Decision, starring Kurt Russell as well.
Oh, God!
Bob Dylan. Just Like a Woman on XFM 104.9.
A couple more names, boxing nicknames for you, Rick. I think this is from Josh. Ricky Blue Eyes, I quite like. And he's also put Toad Rage. which I quite like. I'll tell you, our number one fan has emailed again. I'm pleased to announce. Richard Anderson, Dickie Anderson. He was in touch last week.
Is back.
Anders
He
is back.
loves this show.
He's such a fan of the show, and this week he's emailed in, what actually is the point of your show? Is it to confuse, irritate, depress, or what? All of those things, Dickie. Thanks for noticing.
Oh, he loves this show.
He's such a fan. He's such a fan.
He's
Because last week, you remember, Karl, he emailed in to say that he'd rather spend his time counting his feet than listen to this show. Presumably he's done that. Yeah. And he's
Wonder
decided to email in.
how many feet?
Incredible. Yeah.
No, but he loves this show.
Good, yeah. So, thanks, R.A. Thanks for listening.
See you later. Missy Elliott. Work it on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington.
Educating Ricky?
Yeah.
Should I do a bit of that?
Well, the clues are coming in furious.
The answers, I should say.
Yeah. So go on in. Oh, this is what.
Yeah, Rockbusters is well underway, Karl. Don't worry, you've done your work there.
Okay.
Right, come on.
Right, educating Ricky.
This is my favourite bit now.
You're just going to tease us, aren't you, with 3 headlines? If
And I'm going to choose one, then we got the other 2 as well.
Yeah, that's the way it works, and at the end of it, you learn some stuff. Like I say, I'm struggling a bit with knowledge.
Yeah.
At last he confesses.
Yeah. Go on.
So the 3 headlines for you to pick from, we've got, first one, we'll have a big fire tomorrow.
I got a feeling there's some vegetables involved.
Yeah, go on.
Maybe. Second one, he's a bit of a nuisance.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
And third one, I'll bacon in the morning if you're sick of having me here.
Oh, that one.
I'll bacon in the morning if you're sick of having me.
Right, I'm having that one.
That's brilliant.
Right, well, it's a saying. Do you know cold shoulder? Giving someone the cold shoulder?
Yeah.
All right, if you have someone round at your house and, you know, you try to get rid of them and they're hanging around and stuff and you're like, oh, I wish they'd go, I'm tired and that. Well, years ago...
when? Literally years ago. Well, ages ago.
Sort of,
Olden times.
I think it said medieval times.
Yonks ago then, yonks ago.
Yeah. Medieval, yeah.
We're going back quite a bit on this
Well,
one.
you know when you find out these books, why don't you just pop down when it was?
Just make a note.
I don't think it says all the time. It just sort of says, you know, a few years back.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Well,
Never.
All right, I'll make an effort next week.
Okay.
Right? So, it's annoying that because my girlfriend said to me, just make a note at the time and they'll stop having a go at you.
Yeah.
Yeah?
And I kind of thought, it's all right.
Didn't listen.
I don't think it matters anyway in this one. We're looking at the saying, right? So
Yeah.
it's giving someone a cold shoulder, right? And what it is, right? Ages ago, there wasn't enough houses for people.
Right.
Because there wasn't much money being made. You know, there weren't big businesses. People weren't earning good money like they are now. So there wasn't as many houses, right? So what you ended up getting is like, you know, the rich people having a nice place to live.
Oh.
And the poor people were like wandering about, you know, looking for places to live and that. And what they ended up doing is they had like, people would go around to the mate's house and say, look, I haven't got anywhere to live. It's a bit cold. Can you let me stay? Right? So they'd go, oh, all right, then you can stay a couple of days. But they ended up staying for like weeks.
Yeah.
Right? So to sort of get rid of them, what they'd end up doing, they'd be making the dinner and they'd be making a lovely dinner, like a bit of meat, nice warm meat and nice veg, gravy. And
This happened every time, did it? This is where the saying came
This
from.
is what happened, Rick.
This is
what happened.
happened every time.
It was in that vague book.
The book of vague sayings and stuff.
Right, so they'd be making a nice meal, but what they did, they looked after all the family. But the person who won't go home, they just give them some, like, sort of a cut-off of cold meat.
Right.
So they'd say, you're giving them the cold shoulder. Meaning...
Right. Okay, that's rubbish. Okay, absolute...
Karl, why does that necessarily work?
Yeah. Why do they always, in every situation when you want to get rid of a lodger, well, still feed him every day, but make the meat lukewarm. So
They always leave then.
Yeah.
Oh, this food's lukewarm. I'm going to become homeless
and they
again,
go,
wandering the
hold
streets.
on, are you giving me the cold shoulder? Yes. Do you want me to leave? Yes, just say leaving. No, I like to do it cryptically. That way, in years to come, someone will have a little saying about it.
Well, yeah, that was our bacon in the morning. If you've had enough of meat, we'll leave that.
Well,
Oh bacon on in the morning if you've had enough of me.
Come back. What are the others? Just tease us again with the others. We'll come back to those.
He's a bit of a nuisance, and we'll have a big fire tomorrow.
Nice, looking forward to that. Nirvana, in their version of The Man Who Sold the World, the David Bowie tune. It's
Good tune. Good
Taken from that new Nirvana compilation.
I like that version, I like the David Bowie version.
You can't decide, can you, Rick? You're torn.
In fact, I like the Lulu version as well.
Is there a Lulu version?
Maybe we should play that one week. Yeah.
Was this recorded, what, in the 70s?
I think she recorded it about the same time as David Bowie. I don't know if he released it as a single. I think it was just off the album.
Interesting.
Karl is studying. Okay, what's the next one? What's the educating Ricky?
I don't know. See, like I say, I was looking around and there's stuff that is interesting. Right, I was looking on the web.
But there's no point.
Well, it's just that I found one about...
what's the point?
About a lad who 8 years old, but he's still breastfed. Now, I don't know if you can get anything out of that.
Is that what his mum said?
So,
what do you mean I don't know if I can get anything out of that? You don't need to.
No, it's just that, you know...
Where did you read that?
That was on the internet.
Oh, well, yeah.
You're always unspecific when you mention it. It's just it was on the internet.
Well, I'm trying to think what I put in. I think I put in Y to see if I'd confuse a computer. And then,
Go! You are...
No, I did
honestly.
I did a search, put in Y, and it came up with funny things that, like, why is this person doing that? Why is that? And it had a picture of this 8-year-old lad, sort of, you know, on his mum's nipple. And it was saying, you know, is this healthy?
You sure that wasn't asking you that question?
What? I put in Y just to confuse the computer. Like, the computer go, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Oh, look, last week, I was walking, home with him, and I went, he was saying something stupid, and I went, I've got a competition for next week. Let's do a phone-in, and it's called Karl Pilkington, Genius or Fool.
Yeah.
Right? And he went, No. I went, why not? He went, well, it'd be confusing, because they say there's no difference between genius and being a fool.
We do that, don't we?
No, but it's rubbish, and people say there's a fine line between madness and genius, and, you know, it's a ridiculous soundbite. They don't say there's a fine line between a genius and an idiot.
Well, the people who do are idiots.
Yeah.
So what would you do there, though, just to sort of wrap that little thing up? What would you do? That lad loves his mum's milk.
What are you asking me to come up with?
No, I'm just...
A title for the story?
No. It's just what would you do? Right.
What do you mean, what would I do?
Well, it's causing a bit of a problem in the area, right?
What area?
In America, I think it was.
Oh, America are a problem, are they? George Bush is worried about this kid who's breastfeeding at 8.
Imagine it like this, right?
Right. No, so Karl, what are you asking me? About this spurious story you saw on the internet?
I saw on the internet, there's an 8-year-old lad, he likes his mum's milk, and it's saying, is this right? Should it
No,
be
it's
going
not.
on?
But what do
you want Ricky to do about it? It's not his responsibility.
Yeah.
No, but the little town that he lives in, they're all causing an uproar, right? Going, this isn't right, you know, I can't let my kid play out in case he's in the garden with his mum getting a bit hungry, right? So,
Oh, God.
what should they do? Because his mum's saying, well, he likes it.
Yeah.
And he, you know, what do you do?
I don't know the laws.
No, but I'm not asking you to sort out the laws. I'm just saying, if you lived in that neighbourhood, what would you say? If you went up to him and said, look, everyone's getting a bit fed up with this, look.
I'd say, what would I do? What do you mean, what would I do? what are you asking me?
Right, it doesn't matter.
No, what are you asking me? What are you asking me and Steve and the public?
I'm just saying, say if you live next door to this woman.
Yeah.
Right? The kid's hungry, 8 years old, he's out playing on his bike and he goes, Mum, I'm getting a bit peckish, and he goes, all right, son. She whops one out. And he starts having his milk, right? You live next door, you're putting your washing out, and you see this going on. You're getting a bit sick of it, because it's gone on for months.
8 years, I assume.
Why is it your business? Why are you such a nosy neighbour that you're concerned?
What would you do, Karl? Let's turn it back on him.
Yeah.
What would you do?
What's your solution?
What would you do?
Well, I thought I'd say, right, why are you doing this? And she'd say, because he likes it. And I go, all right then, put it in a bowl first.
And you think that would sort that out?
No, because I was thinking about the whole thing, right? And you do that when you're a baby, and everything's all right, innit?
Yeah.
No one bats an eyelid at a little baby having a bit of milk from its mum's breast, right?
Yeah.
You'd almost say it was natural.
But you grow out of it. It's like you don't see. It got me thinking about things you don't see, and you don't see.
Did you put this into a computer? Show me things you don't see.
What else don't you see?
Well, you don't see like an old man having a Twix. You never.
Oh!
So what?
Oh, you know the terrible thing about all this, Steve, is he's right.
You don't see an old
No,
man
I
eating a
know,
Twix.
that's a terrible thing.
So what they have got, right? They've made old man toffees, haven't they? They've come up with Gervais.
Is that a song? Oh God! You don't see it.
No, listen now. So they've got their Werthers, right?
Yeah.
So,
Look at him. You think
Forget
he's
it.
giving a lecture at Oxford?
it's not going anywhere.
No, go on. Sorry. Go on.
I'm
What?
just saying.
Right.
You grow out of things.
Yeah.
And the old man, I'm sure when he was a kid, he'd have a Twix.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't look right, so he's having.
It doesn't look right.
So.
Right.
I don't think Werther's originals were specially designed for old people. I think they were sweets that just happened to have been made for years. That's why old people eat them.
Yeah.
They didn't go, hang on, there's a market here. I've noticed old people aren't eating Twixes. Quick, let's make some old man sweets.
But the little advert, he gives it to his grandson as well, doesn't he? He goes, have a Werther's original.
Oh, I think it cuts though before he throws it back in his face and goes, get me a Twix. And a damn curly-whirly, Grandad, you old fool.
Electric Six, Danger, High Voltage on XFM, 104.9. Sounds like the show, Danger, High Voltage. Indeed. Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant, and the amazing Karl Pilkington. So, other things you don't see, Karl? Got any other ones, or you obviously been thinking about this? What confuses you? When you look out your window, what confuses you with the world? What do you walk around going, oh, that's a bit weird? I remember, when you were in, Edinburgh, you were confused because you saw someone putting a parking ticket on some rubbish, which confused you.
Yeah. That was weird.
Yeah.
The world's a crazy place, isn't it? I mean, whatever you look at, you can. Do you know what I mean?
Like what? Like what?
Oh, anything. I mean, you could look out the window there and you'll see something. You go, why are they doing that?
Yeah.
What are they doing that for?
Yeah.
I'll tell you this, maybe we should bring back White Van Karl. There's some interesting questions this week, Rick.
Yeah.
We could pull that out of the bag if you.
Shall we do that?
Just get Karl's take on the world's.
Let's do it.
views.
Let's do it.
I'll tell you what. We'll do that in a second. Let's have another educating Ricky because I think you got sidetracked with your talk of.
Well, just the other thing
breastfeeding.
on things you don't see. Look at the way when I went to school, there was 2 kids with them big heads. Now,
You don't
never see them.
Sure.
Yeah, but no one else saw them anyway, Karl. It was only you that saw 2 of them, not related, and wouldn't hang around with each other because you think they thought it would be too obvious. Webbed fingers and big heads. That's amazing.
And there was a kid with a pigeon chest. So.
Oh yeah, and the lady with the head like a bag of spuds.
Let's not go through these
don't wanna
again.
go
It just
through that.
raises too many questions that can't be answered.
Yeah.
Right then. So we've got we'll have a big fire tomorrow.
Yeah, go on.
Is that the one you want?
Let's go for it.
Right. I think this was like round the 1700s.
Bluffing.
And
Just bluffing.
Who was the king then?
Dunno.
Go on.
But it's about the word bonfire, right?
Bonfire.
Bonfire.
Yeah.
Do you know where it comes from?
No, go on.
No.
Right, what happened is it's got nothing to do with Guy Fawkes and that, which is what I thought when I saw it. It's got nothing to do with that. But ages ago, at 1700s,
Yeah.
right, they didn't have enough houses, like I mentioned.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if that happens, you get people living on the streets.
Uh-huh.
You get
Sure.
diseases, people aren't cleaning properly. So you get more deaths.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Yeah.
So think about it. You've got all these dead bodies lying around. They're running out of space because there's like, I don't know why they're running out of space, but
Okay.
they haven't got much. I don't know why really. I was going to say they should have just buried them, but there's probably more land back then than now. Think about it.
I know He doesn't need anyone else in the room to have a dialogue
with himself.
Yeah, we could leave and we'd come back and he'd go, I'm sorting it. Yeah.
But anyway, for some reason,
They presumably, if it's going to be they burnt them, it's presumably to do that it also kills the parasite or whatever's carrying the parasite on them, as opposed to burying them and not killing the disease.
well, yeah. So that. There you go. You've worked it out. They piled them up and they turned it into a celebration because there was a lot of fed up people at that time.
Is this going to be the word bon, meaning good?
No. I'll tell you in a minute.
Go on.
So you've got all these people who are like going around and like, oh, you know, so and so died the other day, and you know, nearly every week someone they knew was dying. So you can imagine like just constant like being depressed. So and they've got all these bodies lying everywhere. It's like, oh God, what are we going to do? So they said, we're all too fed up at the moment. Said, let's make this a better world.
This was 1701 by the time they got together.
Yeah.
So they said, what we need to do is have a big party. So they said, yeah,
Good thinking.
see what you're thinking. So they go, right, well, we'll put all the bodies in a big pile. And they're all diseased and that, so they set fire to the bodies. And they said, let's have this as a celebration to remember them by. And, you know, we'll have a drink and that, and have a chat. We'll have this big fire going, and it came from bone fire.
Ah, right.
So
Bone
it was
fire.
it was all the bones. Bonfire is bone fire.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So that's how it came about.
Yeah, in the 1700s.
Yeah.
That was.
No, probably. I reckon it was 1600.
Probably earlier.
I reckon it was the plague. I reckon it came from.
But interesting stuff. Interesting
Yeah. So
stuff.
that's
Did you celebrate Bonfire Night? Is that a big celebration for you? Do you like the fireworks? I'm sick of fireworks. I just think they're rubbish.
Yeah, I'm not impressed.
I've never been impressed by fireworks. Even as a kid, you know, you have to go to like sort of community kind of gatherings with a bonfire and fireworks, and some local vicar or whatever would come out. And
But I also think the adults think the kids love it, and if they just got together and said, "Should we go to see it?" They'd all go, "No, let's not
absolutely.
go. Let's not go this year."
What would be better is if the vicar had wheeled out like a massive rocket, climbed in, gone last one to the moon is a bender, and then fired himself off. Now that, I'd pay to see. That's a firework display I'd like to see. As it is, it's just rubbish.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
That's
Is that your feeling,
excellent.
Karl?
yeah. I'm not keen.
No.
Sorry, what clue was that?
We'll have a big fire tomorrow.
Bone marrow. Bone marrow. Genius. Let's play the record.
Oh God!
Featuring Van Morrison on vocals, that's Them, and Gloria. From the 60s. In fact. Adverts, Karl?
All right.
Right, what's this? Go on. Go on, just get on with it, because I just can't believe what you just said.
What are we doing? Are we final one?
Yeah.
Right, the last one. Like I said.
No. Say the record. Say the record you played. Go on.
This is free association.
Yeah, brilliant.
Of
Right.
Shadow Wood and Art.
Yeah, and what did you just say to me just before this was ending? He just looked over at me and went, "Are there any animals without a brain?"
No, but hang on a minute.
No, right. And I went, "Yeah, there's animals that." He went, "I was going to talk about this, but it's sad. There's a lad born without a brain, and he laughs a lot, and his hearing and his sight's okay." I'll go, "Well, that's impossible. If he's without a brain, all that is impossible." And he went, "Well, it was in the magazine."
No, it was in a book that somebody sent.
Right.
And I didn't want to bring it up because it is a bit sad, really. That this, young lad, there's a picture of him sat there with his mum, and...
Carl!
well,
Carl!
I forget it.
It's impossible.
Well,
There must have been more to the story,
He
Karl.
can't not have a brain. Hearing and sight is a concept within the brain. That's all it is, right?
Yeah.
The ears are just receptacles. They're
know.
just, So,
But that's why it was in this book. It was a book of mysteries.
Karl, if you're reading a book and you see a photo and you guess at what you think the story might be, that doesn't make it true. That doesn't make it fact.
I looked at it because I thought he looks like an happy lad.
Sure.
And I read about it and I thought, that's weird. Like you've said, the fact that he hasn't got a brain but he can see and he can hear.
no! Impossible!
Well,
Impossible.
okay.
Go on.
I don't know who to believe. Listen, we haven't done it for a while. White Van Man. I thought there's some interesting questions raised today, and I think it might be nice to just throw them Karl's
I think we
direction.
set Karl up again in the last hour as a person that people want to know
They wanna
his
know what he's
opinions on
thinking.
the world.
If you're not familiar with it, on Saturdays the Sun newspaper asks a typical white van driver questions his opinions on the week's news, and we thought we'd throw these in the direction of Karl. And then what do you make of this teenage thug, Karl, Mickey Carroll, who spent 4 months in jail and he's won 9.7 million on the lottery? Is that justice? When you think of all the good people that are going hungry? And there's a lad there and he's won.
Did he buy the ticket before he went in?
No, I think he bought it once he'd come out.
So he's done his time.
He's done his time.
Fair enough then. He's been punished.
Yeah.
Right? He's bought a ticket. He's had a lot of bad luck.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's having a bit of good luck.
Right, next one.
Are you concerned that now he's got all that money he could turn into like a sort of mastermind villain? You know, like a James Bond style villain? He's got a criminal streak, we know that. Is that a concern for you?
Well,
I mean, imagine that he could build some kind of underwater fortress.
We don't, with my lawyer's hat on, we don't know that.
Yeah, well. Well, he'd have to prove that he didn't have a criminal streak. I'd say you've been in jail for 4 months.
Yeah, well, sometimes people are bad because they haven't got any money, so he might be an angel of gold now, or whatever his name is.
1 in 5 children aged between 11 and 16 go on booze binge sessions at least once a week. That's terrifying news, isn't it?
Kids, they know too much now.
Yeah.
You despair.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Listen to this one, right?
Go on.
My dad had me niece in the car, right, running her to school one day, and she was in the back of the car with a mate, and they were chatting away about stuff like kids do. And he got onto the topic of one of the mates who they said, I mean, you've got to remember, my niece, this point, was probably about 5 or 6, something like that, right? In the back of the car, talking about My Little Pony, whatever it is they play with. Subject changed. That Lisa in our class, she's a lesbian, isn't she?
Right.
That's what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Chatting away about it.
Just openly talking about lesbianism.
And probably, this is the topic that they're talking about in the pub when they're having out drinking.
Yeah, but they might have thought a lesbian was a funny word or something. You don't necessarily know the ins and outs of it, do they?
He's weird though, isn't it? Because when I was younger at school, you didn't you swore a little bit, but it wasn't like major swear words, and you sort of did a little bit of nicking, but nothing like they get up to now. I mean,
my girlfriend, when she was about 7 or 8, she was walking to school with her mum, and she called her a C-U-N. Right?
You are joking.
No, she said, because she thought it was she said she thought it was a big furry animal. So she was being nice, and I remember, where'd you do that? Where'd you do that? Like, just heard it at school. So they might not know what it means.
Well, I tell you, I'm gonna have to use kind of euphemisms here to tell this story, but when I was at school, I learned, the stronger version, it's not the same word, but it's very similar with one letter changed. I'm gonna use twit.
Yeah.
You know the word I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But I'm going to use the word twit to replace it, right? And I went round...
Do you think that's twat?
Yeah. All right. That's what I'm thinking of. And, so can I say it? Am I allowed to say it?
No, it's weird though, because some people from Cornwall use that like saying twit. So, if people listen in Cornwall...
Do you know what a twit is? A pregnant goldfish.
Well,
I learned the stronger version of twit.
Yeah.
Twat. For those that aren't sure. I learned this in school when I was like 10 or whatever, and I didn't know what it meant. I thought it was just a stronger version of twit. Yeah. I thought it was just if you were really annoyed with someone because they were a real twit.
Because A is worse than I.
Exactly, apparently. So, Karl would be a twit. And so I started using this at home because I didn't realise what it meant. I started using this at home, you twit, you're a twit, and saying it to my dad, you're a twit, but not saying twit. Yeah. And my dad didn't know what it meant either.
That's great.
I couldn't believe. So he started using it as well, right? So then we'd be driving in the car, he'd be saying to my mum, you stupid, say this one, you don't pull over, you're going to bum it, you twat. Saying this. Then I learned at school from Mark Johnson what it really meant.
Yeah.
Stopped using it, obviously finding out it was quite an offensive word.
Yeah.
I didn't want to bring it up to my dad. I didn't want to sit my dad down and say, Dad, you know that word we've been saying? Yeah. You know what it means? So now, to this day, I've never brought it up with him. So we'll be driving, I go home for Christmas, we'll be driving around, he'll be calling my mum that word. Left, right and centre. I think she knows. I think she's just embarrassed. Or she's just upset and she knows what it means. She goes, why does he keep calling me this terrible word? But he's the only one, I think, in our family who doesn't know what it means. No one's got the guts to say. I don't know whether I should tell him this Christmas.
Oh, what a twat.
I
know. Good to hear that again.
Always good to hear that.
Suede. Animal nitrate. Karl's all flustered because there isn't a record set up, but he's getting all tizzy. He's been more worried about his competitions than sorting out putting records on ready.
What? I'm after Steve's Song for a Lover.
Well, I'll tell you what, why didn't you carry on with your educating Ricky section? I'll have a look on the
We'll keep it going, Steve.
Yeah,
Go on then, right, okay.
We've had a few emails. Anyone got it right, Carl? Anyone got it?
Ricky, educating Ricky. That's the final one. We've got to get that out of the way.
We've got to get Rockbusters as well, though.
We can do that at the end. We can
Go on, then.
But we've only got 5 minutes left.
Come on, just do Educating Ricky.
Right. God. The last one that we haven't done is he's a bit of a nuisance.
Go on, then.
Again, not really that interesting.
Thanks.
No, like, again, I spoke to you in the week, and I had much better things, like when I tell you about Brian Blessed climbing Everest, and for some reason it made him, it played havoc with his belly, and he followed through, and he had to clean up.
Shat himself?
Yeah, using ice and snow.
Why are you telling me that Brian Blessed, in what way is telling me that Brian Blessed shit himself once in any way educational?
Because I was saying how he was climbing Everest, right? You gotta give it to him, he's an actor and that, but he gave that a go.
Yeah.
Right? It played...
What's the point of that, you'd say, wouldn't you?
You'd say, God, he's you know... He's
oh,
good.
so he's alright. Me doing a boxing match, there's no reason is rubbish, but him climbing Everest and shitting himself...
Yeah, he did that.
It's commendable.
Right, and he's only gonna, like, go and do it again. He's gonna climb it again.
Yeah, but he might not shit himself this time.
Yeah, but what's the point in going? Nothing's changed up there.
Yeah, good point. Yeah,
Where's you been?
Well, it has. They've probably cleared it up by now. Like, but it's slip on it.
I can't even be bothered telling you this one, because...
Come on! Just
honest,
do it, or do it now!
Steve, how we doing?
Look, no, never mind that. Look, just tell me what that means. Oh, he's a nuisance. Oh, this is so annoying, Carl. I'm gonna go mental.
Right,
talk.
Right, listen, I'm just putting this in here, right? Right, nuisance is a bit of a nuisance.
Yeah.
Apparently, the old fella who used to hang people...
1700s.
Yeah. He used to be able to tell somebody's weight just by looking at them. Right? That's a bit of a bonus fact.
We'll be the judge of that.
The thing that I wanted to tell you is money for old rope. Do you know what I'm saying? I can't even be bothered.
Yes, you're going to tell me now. Come on, Carl.
Right,
I mean it.
Basically, money for old rope came from the... Right.
What was all that about? You can tell someone's weight. What was all that
bonus
for?
fact.
And Brian Blessed shitting himself. What are you... What? Look at you... No, tell me that now. You nearly made me swear then. I'm getting really annoyed. I'm getting really annoyed now. Tell me this back, Carl, or I'm going to go mental.
Come on, Carl, time's running out.
More that people years ago, when people used to be hung, right?
Right.
If you didn't like the person who's been hung, you'd go, God, I really don't like him. And so you never forget the
Because
time.
even if they're being hung, we take that as read.
Yeah. But, so they never forget afterwards to get the hangman to get the rope and to cut it up into little pieces, and he'd sell them. He'd sell the little pieces of rope to people.
See, Carl, that's the most interesting thing, if it's true, that you've come up with.
Right, okay. And so so they sell the rope?
They sell the rope, and it's money for old rope.
Money for old rope?
Meaning, like, you know, God, it's easy to make money, that all they have to do is cut it up and sell it.
I'm cynical.
I'm not so convinced.
Right, listen, we're really tight. We haven't even got time for a last track. We've got an ad break, and we've got to give out...
Okay, do the answers then. This is ridiculous.
So, Steve,
on.
do you want to pick a winner?
I've got a winner when you give us the answers.
Okay, so the first clue was that army has got some well nice trenches.
Yeah.
That was DW.
Who's that?
Dandy Warhols.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
All right.
It's good, yeah.
The second one, the top of them curtains erect, all the material is worn.
Yeah.
HV, that's Holly Valance.
Oh, he got a phone call for a woman saying I haven't heard it, and he was talking to her off air, and she went, what is it? So-and-so, them's curtains. She went, oh right. He said, you know the thing around the top of the curtain is a palmet, not a valance, and he went, cut her off.
Yeah, but my auntie's always making balances on everything. I'll tell you about that next week, right?
I'm looking forward to that.
Right.
Is this the one that farted for 5 minutes?
Yeah, the very same.
Yeah.
Right? So we'll talk about that. I was in Texas, I tripped up, I landed on my knees in a puddle, WH, wet knee Houston, right?
Wet knee Houston.
Yeah. So,
You're a maniac.
So, who's a winner?
We've got Pete, Catherine and Laura in Newcastle upon Tyne. They're listening online, I assume, and they're
on
going to
Sky
get
Digital.
those great places. And remember, they got loads of stuff. They got the DVD here. They got Linda Green. They got Stone Roses. They got another compilation and Executive Decision.
What did you read about Brian Blessed? Is it actually true, or have you lied with someone else?
It was an interview with him in it.
And what did he say? Come on, what did he say?
He said I climbed Everest and I played havoc with me belly. let's talk about it next week. We've really run out now.
Oh, you're a fool.